Always good to be back with the whites. The whites are at the oncologist's office,
Yeah.
joined by the Straders. Marie, this tracks for Marie. The I know more than a
Oh,
doctor. I know more than the person that went to school for 12 years. Like they asked me questions. Like I didn't know officially what Marie did.
hmm
Um, or I couldn't remember. I know first time watching, but I couldn't remember exactly what she was. She was a nurse,
hmm
she was a doctor herself, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, you're a technician. And you
Like,
really think the need to feel like what I do is important just completely tracks for Marie. So it wasn't surprising. And it wasn't surprising that Hank was just sitting there. He's so immune to it. He's just shaking his head like, yeah, should have gone to climbing. Should have done this. Like he's not saying it verbally, but he's just agreeing with his wife. So it was always funny to see that dynamic. Real quick,
he just
what do
trying to
you
get
think
something,
of?
bro.
I was
Like,
just about to ask you, Mo, because you like family dynamics. You talked
uh,
about that a lot when we did Sopranos.
hmm
You talk about how you enjoy Jesse's family and just that whole dynamic. What do you think about the Hank and Marie dynamic? It's just you think it's solely I just want to get some, or you think there's more to that? I know we touched on it a little bit before, but
yeah, it's definitely more than that, I think. But I think in this scenario, it's like this is just the way I viewed it. Again, they giving us a lot of breadcrumbs here, but I viewed it in the sense of, okay, maybe they're starting to make progress. She's back talking to Skylar, because I know y'all brothers are single, so it's just a little different, But so it's probably been a little bit between them two.
what? Spike said,
That's why I said don't even worry about it. But so it's like they're probably in my mind because it's not a lot here for me. So in my mind, theorizing, there's momentum. I don't disagree with nothing she's saying. Don't like whatever it is, whatever she's saying. Roll with what she's saying. She's starting to get better. She's going to her little psychiatrist appointments. Like it could be something. I'm starting to finally be chill from my PTSD. Like I'm working on something here. that's I mean again, there's nothing there, but that's obviously the no more half measures theory of mine. But yeah.
well, one thing we noticed, Walt's caught once, other than Hank and Marie being there, which is the first time we've seen them at the oncologist's office. Walt's cough is getting worse. We know that he's going to the bathroom. You got random strangers in the next stall hitting him with the, "Hey man, you all right, buddy? You need anything?" And I'm sitting there thinking, like, bro, what you gonna do? Come in the stall and drag me out? Like, I'm good. I get the human courtesy of it,
Yeah,
but
that's
still,
all it is.
you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when people ask you, okay, my cynical response wants to be, "What you gonna do about it if I'm not?" Like, what, nigga? I'm coughing my fucking lungs out, man. Like,
I'm
I'm
dying right
already at the
now.
oncologist office. Like, I'm where I would need to be if some shit go down. What are you gonna do?
That's
Just
hilarious.
tell me. I'd rather you just tell me, "Hey, bro, it's gonna get better." Like, just give me some encouragement, man. Don't ask me if
Hey,
I'm
bro,
good.
let's go get better. It's hilarious
Hey,
in a
it's
bathroom
gonna get.
stall.
Hey, that's all you can say at that point. Say that at the oncologist and say that at the clinic. Tell them niggas it's gonna get better.
Hey, tell them you got to be stronger than that.
You gotta be straight up, always. That's a rule. I need to put that on the
Fight
shirt.
through it. Fight through it, brother. What are they doing there anyway? Like I guess
Oh,
I wouldn't want any of. I don't want what y'all fuck y'all here for.
you
I'm
know
like what you
Walt.
saying.
You know Walt don't want them there.
I mean, they're
He
there for
told
some.
them. He told them y'all can go, man. Y'all ain't gotta be
Yeah, all
here.
of y'all go home. Like what the fuck I
Yeah,
want y'all here for?
I think they're there.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I know why they there
as
for
as
emotions. Well, I get it, but I just as a
as
person, I'm like,
listen,
man, y'all go ahead.
as fucked up as this sound, I ain't trying to be there. You
Yeah,
say cool, we can go. Nigga Marie, we
right.
can go.
And I don't want to be here, so I'm gonna
Yes.
leave when you tell me I ain't
And
gotta be here.
once again, the emotional support part, I get about it. And I'm not leaving, right? I'm going.
Yeah, of course.
I get it. I'm going, even though I'd rather be doing something else. But there is that mindset of we not even hold on, let me rewind a little bit. Once I found out we're not even getting the results today, and I
Right.
gotta come back,
Yeah, what we here
I'm
for?
definitely not showing up. I'll pull up
It's
when you
like
get the results.
going to visit people in the hospital is like y'all, all y'all just standing around, just looking
Yeah.
stupid.
Yep.
Like y'all just be standing there like, oh, okay, nice
We sound like
flowers.
terrible
Like
human beings.
Boy, you
We
talk
sound like
talk
terrible human beings.
talk about boy. You be
it's
extending
the truth though,
extending the small talk like a mug, bro. Like
man. What?
so much small
Nah,
talk.
straight up, straight up.
Nothing to talk
Immediate
about when
family
you
makes
visit
sense.
somebody
Walt
in the hospital.
Jr.,
Immediate family, yeah, you just sit up there, you chill. You ain't really
Walt
got to
Jr.,
talk to
Skylar,
immediate family.
cool. And once if I was in Hank's Marie position, like I would stay. But at the same time, I definitely hitting her with that, man. This nigga don't even know the results today. We giving him, hey, we stay until 2. Nigga,
Yeah,
as soon as
yeah. You
2
got
come, we
you got
out.
to get that established. Like, yeah, remember we got to do that thing in a little bit. So
Nah,
I
straight
ain't
up.
trying to rush you, but you got to set that up.
And
But
I pull I'll pull up for the results. Yeah,
That's different. And I will say, the payoff of the family scene is probably one of the few that actually was enjoyable. Like once we get to
this
the
whole
later on.
So speaking of, Walt goes in for his MRI, and of course he's fresh off of talking to Maria about the technicians could probably tell you if you went to climbing, you would know the results today. I could probably look at it and tell you what's going on. So that's in his head. He asked the technician, "You see anything?" He said, "Bro, I'm just a tech. Doctor gonna call you on Monday." He sees a reflection off the mirror and sees like a large spot on his lung, and of course Walt starts freaking out, starts thinking about the worst, and thinks the cancer is spreading. Any additional thoughts on just? This is a big moment for the show at this point. If you don't know anything, this is your first time watching. Oh shit, Walt really about to be about it here. It's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I thought that it was interesting that the guy was a tech similar to Marie. So it in this episode we see a theme of Walt just dealing with people that just don't know what they talking about.
Yeah, like why the brother don't know nothing? Huh? Why the brother can't know something? Huh?
He probably do know something. He trying to keep his job. We all been there.
Nah, that's real. You can't be out here just telling people.
Yeah, it's like, hey, listen, look, bro, I got a good job. Look, you gotta holler at your mans when you get back here, bro.
I think another one of the things that I noticed here with that large mass on the rewatches, how they use the cancer in this show, just like it doesn't pay off really. Like it's just this thing that just stayed looming, but really it never really affected Walt physically other than like coughing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't like you've been around cancer, but he wasn't suffering like when he was going through chemo, couldn't get out of bed, no appetite. Like we never really seen him deal with cancer other than like having to go to the doctor sometimes or coughing. I think that takes away a little bit for me on subsequent rewatches. I noticed it this time.
It's just they use it as the motivation builder.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's a good motivation builder. But like I say, and I've stood on about this show, when you watch it 2, 3, 4 times, it's like, I don't know.
You think feel like that's a little bit of the TV magic part? It takes you out of
you're getting exactly what I'm saying. That's why I feel like it's the TV magic part. And great shows really don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. Like The Sopranos didn't have to do that. I know people are so tired of us talking about The Sopranos.
Get over it.
The great shows really don't have to do that. Like it's just like The Wire. I can't remember them just having some overarching thing. Game of Thrones did it, but it paid off. I don't know. I just noticed that this time.
Game of Thrones got a lot of not payoffs though.
Yeah, it's the you can't. I don't mind it as much only because the whole motivation was the cancer. That's how they started it out, and you can't just abandon. It would have been worse if you just abandoned it, or if Walt gets help. If Walt gets better, if Walt goes in with the diagnosis that you're cured, then it seems kind of cheap. Like, all right, but I get why they did it, and it doesn't bother me just because it is what it is. But you do it. I will say the expectation is set early. Like this is going to be this is going to be a big factor here soon, and then you get to the almost the end of season 2. You're like, hold on, like this is really the first. I almost low-key forgot this nigga got cancer.
Yeah, I think it's the. Damn, you just said something. It ain't necessarily the payoff. I feel like it would have been a better character if what you just said, Rich, they told him he was cured, he went and he was in remission and didn't have cancer, but kept lying to everybody.
I
think that would have been.
That's what I was like.
Let's give you a more definition of what Walter White is. Like that's what Walter would have did.
Yes.
Because now you got to take this morale compass off the table of, oh, you're doing this shit because you got cancer, you want to leave something for your family. Like I wish that he had been cured of it and then just not told nobody. That would have been a better payoff.
That's perfect.
That adds more to the lies and logic of
or he does something for his kid. But the only thing about that is if something happened to Walt Jr., never mind. But either way, if something happened to Walt Jr. and he was going to do it, the only reason that might not even work because Kyler would be 100% with it. Like for our son, like you dealing drugs to pay for his treatment, almost like some John Q shit. Like we ain't got enough money to pay for this operation. How we gonna do it? I'm gonna go out here and cook meth. I think Skyler would be. What I'm saying is, if they use it instead of using it as Walt, I think what you said was brilliant, the whole cancer angle. Mm-hmm. But you just take away cancer completely. That's not the whole motivation. Is our son got this rare heart disease or rare disease, he needs an emergency surgery, or he can get treatment starting now, but how we gonna pay for all of this? That whole thing. But like I said, it wouldn't work because Skylar would be on board. I think any mother would be like, whatever we got to do for our son, we're gonna do it. So never mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, shit. Your idea was great.
Maybe cancer is, again, like, we're gonna always compare it to Sopranos, so that's what it's all started. Maybe it's similar to the duck concept of, we thought it was gonna be more to the Tony story of these ducks and that, and the colleagues with the birds. Maybe they, and then it never really. I mean, he had a thing about animals, of course. Cosette and the bear that came to the house, but it never really turned into. But people treat the ducks as Soprano lure, even though it's like they really only pop up on the pilot for real. You know what I'm saying? Of course, so I don't know. Maybe cancer's a version of that, or maybe cancer's just Gary Cooper. Like,
maybe it's just a blatant symbolism that Walt's a cancer.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that simple. Who knows? But I think that's time to get in the show. Welcome back to a new episode of No More Half Measures, a Breaking Bad podcast. I'm your host, Rich, joined by the good brothers. I'm here with the world-class Maurice Hunt III, and of course, the legend Spike Lou. Brothers, how y'all feeling?
Feeling good, feeling great.
Like, feeling good, feeling energized, man. Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram, the real _ Mochaccino. Yeah.
As soon as you said feeling energized, I knew where that shit was going.
Hey,
All right, man. All right, sure. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Spike Lou. Always good to be back here with y'all brothers, man. Just talking some good television and taking it from there. Before we continue, I do want to say something, because two references that we had on this show recently and talked about passed away. And I want to make sure we give some love and condolences and light to the families. Last week we talked about Saul making the Godfather, Tom Hagen, Don Corleone. Well, the guy who played Tom Hagen, the legend Robert Duvall, he passed away at the age of 95. And of course, the playing name, Jesse's telling people his name was Jesse Jackson, the legend Jesse Jackson, he passed away as well. So both references to this show that we have been talking about in recent weeks happened to pass away a day apart from each other. Just want to make sure we acknowledge them and their incredible lives. And, like I said, send some love and condolences to their family. But with that being said, you're here for No More Half Measures, and we appreciate y'all. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're looking for us on Instagram, NMHM Breaking Bad Pod. You can DM us, leave comments. You can also email us at nomorehalfmeasurespod@gmail.com. Y'all know how we get down. We definitely going to read the emails on air, as well as your comments on YouTube, Spotify, the whole nine. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it right now. We'll go ahead and start with, I think we got a DM. Shout out to, I believe they sent a DM already. I can't remember his name, but MadeMan823 on Instagram sent a DM saying, "Yo, what up? I caught up to the pod and I'm continuing to watch Breaking Bad. I can't wait to argue some of the upcoming events with y'all, because I always rooted for Walt and saw his perspective on things, just like Tony Soprano, who was also a horrible person in hindsight, but our anti-hero. Also want to point out to Spike and Mo that if they want to shit on the show, that's fine, LOL. It won't deter his fans from listening." Spike spoke about, you see how you said y'all? Not me? All right. Spike spoke about listening to the Bald Move guys before, Aaron and Jim, that covered Game of Thrones. And let me tell you, some of the best podcast content I ever listened to was listening to the shit on The Walking Dead every week when that show started getting bad. So I'm here for it as a Breaking Bad lover. It sits between 3 and 4 for me. I got to rewatch Game of Thrones. I go The Wire, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad / Game of Thrones. That's his top 4. We appreciate you, fam.
You got to watch Succession.
I'm curious. Yeah, check out Succession. And I'm also curious what rewatch this is for you. You know what I mean? Like, is this your first rewatch of Breaking Bad? Are you multiple times? Because if it's your first, you say you rooted for Walt. If you're rooting for Walt after your first rewatch, you would. You might have. Yeah, it says a lot about you.
You're so.
And I said that respectfully.
Yeah, you
But
got to be.
Walt
You must be
crazy.
a part of the whites. Nah,
Leave
that
it to Mo to go all the way over.
Walter
Of course.
White's. What? Am I,
The whites.
We
what did
got
I
you.
miss?
Never mind. Never mind.
Nah. For me, yeah, no. I depending on how people like dog shows, I can listen to. Like, I like it if people go off about stuff. Like, that's I understand because I was listening to them when they were doing Walking Dead, so I remembered it, like in real time, like how I was just telling off so bad and them doing that. So yeah, if it warrants that, don't worry. Like
Yeah,
we'll definitely get it off.
I'm with you.
You
I'm
know,
with you, Mo. Like I like when the people that review shows like they go off about the stupid shit.
yeah.
Like if I were to review and tell me lies, like after watching the finale, Rich, I don't know if you finish it, but
I told you I'll do it by the end of the weekend. So
yeah, I could understand why people go off about shows.
all
Oh
right,
yeah.
fair enough, fair enough. We
And
got
it's entertaining.
it's 90% bullshit, but it entertains me. Shout out to Alonzo. Spotify comment from Sam. Y'all are crazy. That intro is great. It's for sure one of those if you know type of things. That's from season 2, episode 7, Negro. Why, according to Spike Lee? Why, Azul? Um,
Speaking English.
It's America, goddamn. I'm just
Nicholas is crazy. Um, yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I don't know if you caught up, Sam, but we in episode 8 we talked about it. A lot of people felt your sentiment. They felt like the intro was dope, especially once you get history. We talked about it. I
It's
still
still
like it, but
trash,
other
bro.
people still don't like it.
Knock it
Some
off.
people don't like it, man. It is what it is. I'm just
Knock it
hey,
off.
that's their opinions. All right.
the
We have
sound
a
effect was
YouTube
nuts.
comment. Sound effects was crazy.
That
I tried to
I thought
skim
my
over
computer was
that
messed up.
that intro's right there with Spike's Memphis takes. How about that? Go ahead.
My Memphis takes are correct.
All right, exactly.
Oh,
I saw
okay,
that.
gotcha.
Hey, that nigga said I
Did
saw
you
the
see
nigga
that?
on people.
You see the clip? You see the clip I sent you? You knew what he was talking about. You
I
knew
knew
what he
exactly
because
what
you
you're
know
talking about.
Youngstown.
Yeah, I know
Did I
exactly what
send
you're
the clip
talking
to you
about.
too, Mo?
No,
I sent you that clip where a nigga was saying essentially the same thing I said about Memphis. Nigga said I'm driving to
Oh,
Arkansas to stop and get gas.
we got a YouTube comment from Black Johnny 9570. Shout out to you. We appreciate you. This is on episode 8, our last episode. You're right about the rewatchability of Breaking Bad. Doesn't hit the same after the first watch. We'll put The Wire, Sopranos, The Shield, and Sons of Anarchy above Breaking Bad. But the
Shield
last
is
2
interesting.
seasons of Breaking Bad are some high stake moments when I watch live. They are very high stakes. One thing I hit y'all brothers with it in the chat when I was just reading some stuff. I didn't know this, but Breaking Bad was going to be canceled after season 1. Then it was going to be canceled after season 2. And when I heard that, that made complete sense. It made complete sense. And it goes into, well, I'm not going to rehash it because we talked in depth last week, but or ad nauseum, should I say, last week. But the characters that we're about to see coming up, they kind of saved the show and added some new life into it. But it makes complete sense that you can't keep telling this type of story this way for that long. So yeah,
so if that
shout
was a
out
black
to
show, it'd been canceled and that'd been the end of it.
Yeah, that would have been over
yeah.
after
They
season
tried to do
4.
the same with The Wire. They tried to do the same with The Wire. That's why season 3, The
The
Wire was
Wire
never
was
supposed to come
asking
back.
for it.
Yeah, but The Wire was never supposed to come back for 4 and 5. Like season 3 was supposed to
Yeah.
be a series finale, and it makes sense when you look at it. The show could have ended right there. We just, we were blessed to get 4 and 5. And
Yeah.
4 is actually my favorite. I know a lot of people say 3, but 4 is my favorite season. So yeah, we'll talk about it. We got a YouTube comment from our guy Kiori. Shout out to Kiori, man.
out to
I'm
Kiori.
curious to see if this episode ages the best out of the entire series because of the Better Call Saul spinoff. I kind of talked about that. So far, barely anything has lived up to my first watch, but revisiting this episode for the first time in years makes that spinoff series hit even harder. Agreed 100%.
Facts.
Since you're right that Better Call Saul probably won't be good to do episode by episode breakdown, would you consider doing 6 conversations in the kitchen and tackle a season per episode once you finish Breaking Bad? Just food for thought, or like Spike and Mo, or like a Spike and Mo joint party, some veggie bacon and thoughts. It could
Crazy.
be. I don't know. Would you ever, Spike? Would you ever do a? Would you ever do a best episode ever? A Better Call Saul?
I was going to say I don't know about the in the kitchen because I don't know how invested Mo would be in Better Call Saul, but best episode ever. I think that would be a good one, a next one to do
The issue
after
with
the
the
one we
best
got
episode
queued
ever.
up.
I think I know what the best episode is.
Is it the same way with Sopranos? You think you know? Like best episode ever?
No, because Sopranos has the reason I say that is because we talked about it once again, so we won't spend too much time. Better Call Saul is for the nerds. It's for the people who love storytelling and the payoff and the dialogue and just good acting. There's nothing that really happens that's gonna wow you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a relationship building. You got stories between Jimmy and Chuck and all these other things. But when Lalo comes, there's some things that go down that make it more of like feels like Breaking Bad. And there's a certain scene in particular
that is the
involving
best episode.
Lalo. I think that's easily the best episode.
It's either that or another.
Oh, you think that's the best episode?
Either that or something with Gus, with Lalo, Gus, somewhere around there. But like, I think
it's something
I
to
don't know.
revisit.
I think it's more of a conversation to be had though, because I see what I think I know
the
what
conversation is there. The conversation is there. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like that's
already
going into it. I don't know if there's going to be an episode that knocks it off. And the only thing about doing the best episode ever is if I know it's not going to be a season 1 episode, I'm not going to want to talk about season 1. Like I'm just not going to want to.
Fair.
You know, so I know nothing from 1, 2.
Yeah, you're
sure
right.
We'll probably have the best episode. So I don't know. We'll figure out how to do it. But Kiora, we like the idea. We'll figure out a way to do it. You know, we get it done. So we'll do it like that. And then, of course, we got to end things with our guy, Acid Jax. Fellas, confession, I've never seen a single episode of Better Call Saul. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I guess there's only one way to find out. But based on your notes, one thing seems certain. Vince Gilligan could give David Chase some notes on how to do a spinoff. Many Saints are fuck out of here. Straight up. Shout out to RL and Kiori for dropping bars last week. You're right, there is more to go off on culture on Sopranos, but I just want to add that what Vince lacks in bringing authentic culture into his show, they make up for in cohesive narrative, attention to detail, and most of all, payoff. I said it before. When a show's writing leaves you wanting more of both the story and characters, then you don't feel like a dickhead for having invested time in it. And I think we feel that instantly in the energy flash that Saul Goodman brings. Why? I think because Saul is the perfect smart opposite to Walt. Also wanted to make sure I said the title of this email. It's titled, When Your Show Needs Some Soul, Better Call Saul. All right, let's get back to the email. Walt is smart dumb. Saul is smart sly. Walt is laboratory and logic. Saul is street and instinct. Walt is about clever escapes. Saul is about clever plays. Example, when a problem arises, Walt has to wait for his intellect to kick in to find a solution, while Saul already has muscle memory on executing the best strategy immediately. Don't get me wrong, I fuck with Breaking Bad as a whole, and even the worst episodes are better than most of what passes for prestige TV today. But by halfway through season 2, the show was drying out. And by episode 7, that shit was drier than a Skylar hand job in the desert. So the irony they called it Better Call Saul is not lost on me, because they had written themselves into a major narrative problem and they dialed up on an amazing solution in the form of slimeball Saul Goodman. Okay, moving on. R.E. the kidnapping, to quote Spike, I agree with Mo. At this point, kidnapping is not beyond Jesse and Walt. Okay? It's not. That was your stance, Mo.
Yeah.
Okay, he agrees with Mo. At this point, kidnapping is not beyond Jesse and Walt. Everything these jabronis fucking do is a comedy of errors. Yeah, it defies logic, but you're talking about a man that turned down the Great Matter gig to cook meth. Something this dumb is definitely on brand. Speaking of on brand, of course, Rich will point out that Animal Mochaccino's favorite scene was Jane with the mattress, of course. Horny ass, mush your mini man. I don't think D.B. Cooper was the only one to successfully hijack a plane. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Make Mexicans speak American again. Box inside a box, ready for the world. Oh, Sheila falsetto singing motherfucking Mo. But I won't hold you. When it comes to comparing
coming with heat on me, bro.
Hey, I love it.
He stay with it.
I don't know if it. You gotta tell this, Acid Jax, man. Every time I read one of those, I immediately think of Do the Right Thing. I immediately think of Do the Right Thing. Please let us know if that's your motivation when you write those moments.
Oh man,
but I won't hold you. When it comes to comparing baddies between Jane and other Breaking Bad bitches, I would write not even close. I would write not even close on every other test paper every time. That's a reference to Walt. That shit's silly. Speaking of scores, I hope these chemical reactions don't earn me an F. I know they sometimes run long, but like I said above, the best ones leave you wanting more. Peace, and Acid Jacks. P.S. Yes, the right move for Walt is to dick down Skyler. Rich know it, Spikes knows it, and Mo, do I even have to say it? But let's be real. Once Ted checked in, smashed avocado was off the menu. Shout out to Acid Jacks, man.
The one who
Shout out
writes.
to the one who writes, man. We appreciate
Shout
you.
out to Acid Jacks, man.
Absolutely.
Keep them coming, bro. We
absolutely.
appreciate them. One of my favorite parts of the
Please
week.
It is.
do. Man, you never get an F, my man. Never get an F. Not from us.
No.
Not from us, man. But we're here to talk about this episode. There will be spoilers and explicit content. Today's episode is season 2, episode 9, 4 days out. Premiered May 3rd, 2009. Directed by Michelle McLaurin. Written by Sam Catlin. And is currently streaming on Netflix. Spike Lou, do we have a synopsis for episode
Rich,
9?
yes, we do. All right. Saul and Walt go over numbers to clean up Walt's money, and they realize Walt ain't a big dog. Walt's going to visit his mom, who we've never heard of, and surprisingly, we never hear about again. Jesse and Jane plan a trip to the museum to see vagina paintings, but the cook trumps everything right now. This is season 2, episode 9 of Breaking Bad.
Get into it. Fresh out of the oncologist's office, fresh off of thinking I'm about to die here very soon, we see Walt go to his new lawyer's office and says, listen, got some bread saved up. I need to find a way to make it clean so I can give it to my family because I think I'm going to die soon. He even tells Saul weeks when he asks how much time he think he have, some weeks. Which Saul says, damn, I was hoping he was going to make some real money together, which is very much a Saul Goodman response. But he gets into money laundering, tells Saul he has $16,000. And Saul even asks him, how long you been doing this? 16,000. Like, that's it? What the fuck we even here for? It's going to leave him with a little bit over 9K by the time everything's said and done. You can get a used Subaru. And he also tells him, I don't know much about much, but it might be time to tell your wife what's going on, just so she's not throwing off her shots by this, which is sound advice. Very sound advice, but we know Walter probably is not going to listen. What did y'all think about the scene? The only Saw we get this episode of him just telling them, I'll clean your money, but you need to tell your wife.
Is that sound advice? Like, how do you tell your wife at 50 years old that I sell drugs now?
Well, no, I think he meant it in the sense of before you leave. Like, before you exit out of here, like, you need to tell, like, she can't just get a check for X amount of dollars without any explanation or whatever the case is. Like,
I'm gonna be dead.
Saul said it like everybody wants to know how they got rich.
Yeah.
And Skylar might start digging and doing some stuff, especially if a nigga like Jesse, the one bringing it to you.
Yeah.
Or whatever case it
I
is.
just don't know how that conversation goes. Like, I get why he tried to keep it from her. Like, I don't see how you sit your wife down at that age, and because she gonna basically call you a stoop. You like this what you resorted to? So yeah, but I get what Saul's saying too.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
And 17% is nuts to wash money.
Yeah. He said, bro, congratulations. You got your family a secondhand Subaru. Like, that was
This
crazy.
nigga paid him. He said he had 16,000.
16, and he basically leaving with 9.
9. So he paying him $7 grand to do.
Well, 75 cents on the dollar because somebody else got to get paid too.
Gotta wash it. Yeah, they gotta wash it. But it's usually 3-4%. This nigga said 17.
Yeah. You know,
That's nuts.
one thing I'll say that it feels different now because of the prequel is how comfortable Saul is with like the drug business to me. You know what I mean? Like, because I know we see some things in Better Call Saul, but it still didn't give me this vibe, which is like one of those things where you've already wrote the prequel, so you can't really change it. But I don't know. It's like this. I mean, we get more heart in Better Call Saul, and we get a little more context of Jimmy McGill and all that, and then we see him dealing with Lalo and some of the other things. But it never felt like necessarily. I'm trying to get some money, but I ain't necessarily like advising the drug business. You know, it kind of feels weird to me sometimes when he's like, "Oh, you should just go ahead and kill him." Like on the last episode, it's like, you know what I mean?
On the flip side, I think the show, because it is so drawn out. Because remember, everything started with Sandpiper. Like he was a what do they call that? Attorney for the elderly. They're doing estate planning and all that. So it took. I think if they started right into it, it would have been, how'd you get there? But it was all about happenstance and I think the last 3 or 4 episodes. Remember, we didn't. Better Call Saul didn't really get into Saul Goodman at all. It was Jimmy McGill majority of
Yeah.
that series,
Right.
minus the last season.
Right.
You heard of Saul Goodman, but remember, our first intro to, or the world's first intro to Saul Goodman was a videographer and a nigga that made videos and shit, commercials. It wasn't even no lawyer. He wasn't even a lawyer at that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to fuck it. Anyway,
It's been out, but yeah, no, I mean, no, I guess you just happenstance. I just because this is obviously like, oh, this is him being like he's in it now versus we get to build up towards it. But even towards the end, when we get that and we even get the flash forwards and stuff, I just never. It ain't the direction in which he went in the prequel. To me, it still don't quite line up. It almost as if they kind of they wanted to give the heart and origin of him, and then as they progress towards what they progress to, even when we get to like the finalization of it, still never feels like this to me. Like, and that's just my opinion. Like, because watching it more, because I didn't like him before. I started liking him when it came out the prequel, and then now watching this now after watching all of that, it's like, it's missing a little something. But again, this came out first, so you can't rewrite it now. But it feels like I wish there was a little more of that. The comfortability with the drug aspect, and you should just go ahead and kill him and stuff. It still don't really track for me. So that's my opinion.
If I'm right about the timeline, he's like directly dealing with Lalo right now, right? In the background, like if that, like it was
well,
about
I don't want to
season
say
5.
much because I don't
What
want to give you
season was
spoilers.
what season was the Breaking Bad episode of Better
The
Call
last,
Saul?
it was the third to last episode. Like after Breaking Bad, I think they had 2 more episodes of the series left.
Yeah, I
But
think the
I don't
only
want to. If I
reason
talk too much, I'm gonna spoil it, and I don't want to say nothing.
I think the only reason that it's okay with me and I'm not on the same page with you, Mo, is because now, especially with the prequel, now it seems like he's directly in the shit. Like I'm already working with the cartel. I already then took $1 million through the desert or whatever it may. Like I'm already way past the line. So Walt is somebody who I can deal with. It's not dangerous. That's also in that field. So I get him being more comfortable and just kind of doing the consigliere thing. Like I get that in this situation. It's off putting to me because of the backstory.
And I think mainly because of what you just said, he came out the gate dealing with big dogs. I'm a friend of the cartel. You know what I mean? If he started dealing with niggas like Stinky Pete, I don't think he'd have this mindset. But I dealt with some big dogs. So I'm in it. I ain't no going back from this point. Everybody's going. Kim going, everybody going. Like I'm in this. So
I don't know, man. Like it's the advisement.
I understand what you're saying. I get it.
Like it's not far fetched. It's not far fetched. It's not far fetched. It's just y'all write it. Y'all see what I mean. If y'all go back and watch the prequel and come back, maybe y'all at least see where I'm coming from with it. But nonetheless, it's not far fetched, and I get how y'all can see it that way too.
Sure. You got any other thoughts on the actual Saul scene with the money laundering? I mean, Walt?
Nah.
Okay. As we move on, Walt and Skylar are in bed. Skylar wants to do something over the weekend. You know, we got to wait for these results. Let's do something fun. Take your mind off of things. Once again, I must say, impressive rewatch for Skylar, man.
Yeah.
Impressive rewatch for Skylar. This is what you would want. Like we have been beefing, but I understand I'm going to be here for you. I don't want you stressing out this entire weekend. We can go somewhere. We can do something. Let's get your mind off of this. And Walt, to Spike's synopsis point, brings up his mother, who we have never heard of. Skylar even looked as shocked as the audience, like, huh? You gonna go see your mom? Mentioned he never told her. Wants to make sure that she leaves some money for the family once she's out of there. And Skylar is a little bit skeptical because of Walt shenanigans, but she immediately says, "All right, cool. You got a scan coming up, or not a scan, but you have scan results waiting that could lead to your demise. I get it. Go see your mom. Make things right. Do whatever you need to do." We see Walt is a little bit negative. He thinks that things are going to go wrong. And that's what she picks up on from the whole, I need to talk to my mom. You're expecting the worst. And she wants him to be more positive and have a better outlook on this whole situation. Spike, you got any thoughts or ideas, not ideas, but commentary on this scene?
Again, just digging into Walt being a complete and absolute dirtbag. Like I don't even know how. Like how do you? I know Skylar said that she wouldn't call because it's his mom. They don't have a relationship. She don't really like her, so you feel like they're safe. But this just seems like the stupidest idea ever on earth for you to be like, I'm just gonna go see my mom for the weekend because I haven't told her that I have cancer. Like none of that registers to me.
Doesn't make
But
any
there
sense.
doesn't make no sense at all. But what it does do, I remember the first time watching this when Skylar has her big revelation, how unbelievable that I thought that was. Now, as I'm watching this back through and all of these little scenes like this, I get how she came to that conclusion. Like when she, what we were gonna call the show at first, I get how that happens now. Like it's all these little breadcrumbs that she just been picking up on and picking up on and picking up on. And she know Walt's not a cheater. So it gotta be something like this. But yeah, this was ridiculous to me.
What you think, Mo?
I don't know. Like,
It makes me think of.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, real quick. It just makes me think of Monica's email last week. I think she, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to misquote or misphrase, but something along the lines of some of this stuff is just a little bit too outlandish, it's a little bit too much to, and that's what I feel throughout. Like even the science, as cool as it is, like it wouldn't work in real life, but it's a cool writing tool to get you out of things. But
Like you going to your mom's, you ain't gonna talk to your wife all weekend. You ain't gonna talk to your wife for 3 days
yeah,
just
like,
because you at your mom's house. But you 50 years old, nigga. What are you talking about?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But he counted on that. That's why he was like, maybe she's out. Listen, it doesn't make sense.
Well, clearly
Here
she,
we are trying to figure out. We trying to figure
It's
this shit out. It don't make
ridiculous.
sense.
well, she don't have a good relationship with his mom, obviously, because we
Yeah, but you can still call me. Like it's ridiculous.
It don't track because literally, like he has, like according to y'all, that he has like he may have a disappearance. You know what I mean? Because that already happened. So that really don't track.
Yeah, and I get to this is why what you say about it being almost canceled in these first two seasons, some of the writing makes that glaringly obvious, like right here. In later seasons, they do a much better job of writing themselves into a corner and writing them out. Walt has to get away for 3 days. He got to go cook to make more money. He can't use the disappeared excuse anymore. So what we're going to go with is, oh, he's going to his mom's and just going to lie to Skylar. That's crazy. That is some of the laziest shit that you could do. Like they should have came up with something else.
I mean, I don't even think it's a bad reasoning, like because the mom, the sentimental, what he believes his condition's about to be. I just think they should have just fleshed it out a little bit more. That's it. Just if you're gonna go with that, flesh it out a little bit more. To me, that instead of like maybe some of the later scenes in the desert, like flesh that out a little bit more, where it's like, okay, I could see how she gets there, even having some pushback on her side. Where it's like, hey, nah, I don't know if I want you away from home, this, and that. You know, it's a little bit more into the ingredients, a little more seasoning.
It works if you have a season 1 episode where Walt's mom comes to visit and we see the disdain.
If we at least know his
Skylar.
mom.
So, and we don't even need to see her again, but we've seen her before. We've seen, you can write a plot line or a storyline about them two not liking each other. And we can see it firsthand, like, oh yeah, they can't be in the same room together. They really don't fuck with each other. This would make then it would make sense for you to be, because we don't know anything about this mom. Us as viewers, obviously we know you have a mom, but she's still around. You ain't never mentioned her. Is your dad around? Like what?
She never came up again.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
They didn't mention his. Like it's insane. And
like she never wants
pregnant.
to see her grandchildren. Yeah, you don't want to. You ain't gonna be at the hospital for your granddaughter being born. Like it's just weird.
Yeah. Even on top of that, she's pregnant. You finna leave your wife no contact for 3 days? Your pregnant wife? That's what you finna do?
What you gotta say, Mo? Bro? What you thinking? What you thinking, Mo?
Yeah, it don't work. I'm sorry. Like
it don't work.
I almost, and I'm sure Rick should find this as we get to like season 3 and on. It makes me wonder, like, who did y'all bring in for like, you know, exchanging ideas?
Something changed in that writing room.
You know what I mean?
Changed in that writing room.
Yeah. Because
this season to when it got good.
This is where it feels like you're writing out of your wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like you're definitely writing out of your wheelhouse a little bit. Like you're civilian trying to create like this kind of drug show, but like your reasonings and stuff. Yes,
good point.
And again, I don't know. Maybe this is hate to put it like
Nobody
this.
can get this off.
Tying it back to cultural, because maybe it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural thing. Like you can make up some fluff. Like this will never work with a black woman. So maybe we're too connected in that sense.
Bro, this won't work with no woman. Like I get what you're saying, and I kind of agree. I know it wouldn't work with a black woman, but I'm assuming that it wouldn't work with any woman that's pregnant. That you're gonna be gone for 3 days, and we're not going to talk just because you're at your mom's house. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's a crime. Like, what if Walt Jr. try to call it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if he got a good relationship with his grandma? He hitting him up and like, "Hey, Dad, this happened." Like, what? Like, this is crazy.
There was no way that she wouldn't have like called. Like, it's just no way. Like,
no way we going no contact for 3 days just because I'm going to my mom's house. If they like, I can understand going no contact for 3 days. I get that. That's fine. But he should have came up, or they should have came up as writers with a better excuse. We were just supposed to shrug this off like, oh, okay, Walt got out of the house. No, nigga, this don't work. It does not work. This don't work in no way, sense or form.
Yeah, it worked better when he was like, hey, what did he tell Skylar the last time? He said he's going out to, I don't know, one of these.
When he
groups.
said he was going to look at, with the groups and was going to look at something, like I could understand a dying man wanting to do that just to have more experiences.
Right.
I can't understand a dying man with a pregnant wife and a disabled son going to see his mom and expecting nobody to call him for 3 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
When you lay it out like that, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Insane, man. I'm looking up. I was just curious as like when they started getting nominated for Emmys. Like they won 16 total Emmys, and they got some season 1 and season 2 nominations. Bryan Cranston won like 4 Best Actors. He won season 1, season 2. Let me make sure I'm looking at this right. Season 1.
I think that's strictly off. I think that's strictly off
3.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the shock
because he was coming off Malcolm in the Middle, and they seen him that square dad.
You think he won? He won a 3-peat?
He did a great job, but I think a lot of that was, it's the Malcolm in the Middle dad, and he's acting like a drug dealer, meth cooker, crazy guy.
You gotta remember, we are naturally harder critics than others. So I like we talked about with the Peekaboo episode. It's like knock it off. Stop playing in my face.
I saw a comment today to talk about that show was a classic. Because there was a comment saying they didn't like this episode. Because this is a very highly regarded episode. I don't know if y'all know that.
Okay.
Very highly regarded. This one is. And I'm thinking, I thought the same thing when they said that about Peekaboo. It's cool. Like, it's not a 9.2.
This better than Peekaboo.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's absolutely better than Peekaboo.
Okay. Because I like Peekaboo was one of the, anyway.
They got this episode as 19th ranked. All the lists that we've been talking about, they got it as 19th ranked.
19th?
Better Call Saul was 12.
The more we watching this, and then that email from last week, I'm understanding the hype of this is because of, as Mo says, the whites. This is like some cool chicken, but it ain't like the chicken you go get at your grandmama's house, like the Soprano.
Yeah.
It ain't like the chicken. Like, this is like cool.
This is chicken. This is chicken. This is chicken that's catered at your job, where it's like, they got some chicken from a place. It ain't really seasoned. It's baked. It's not fried. You're like, all right, this is cool.
Shit, no, it ain't my auntie.
Yeah, it's like I had to pay for it.
Right. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's what this show is giving to me.
Cool chicken. That is
cool.
Crazy.
Cool chicken. It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah. I ate.
Dude, that is wow.
As we move on in the episode, Jesse and Jane in the bed with the yellow sheets, obviously colors, yellow. Jesse got one of the nastiest tattoos ever. I just want to make sure we say that for the record. I want this to be living in history. That I point out, that dragon tattoo, it ain't even on his neck. It's like in the middle to the left of his chest. Like, that's just nasty. Like, who did tattoo. That? Stinky Pete drew that. He tattooed that shit on him. Jane asked Jesse.
That is crazy.
Jane trying to get Jesse some culture.
Stinky Pete tattoo.
100%. That shit's terrible. That shit terrible.
It is brown.
The fact that Jane slept with him after seeing some shit like that. I got to question her. But, she,
daddy issues.
Stop, man. Well, there's a ton of shit I'm about to say that I'm not going to say. Jane's trying to get some culture into Jesse's life. He wants to take him to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Jesse thinks it has something to do with the atomic bomb. Just to let you know, he has no idea who Georgia O'Keeffe is. Jane said they're going to go to Santa Fe. She persuades him. Phone rings and it's Walt on the line. And it was crazy to see visually the little kid coming out of Jesse. He heard Walt's voice and started running, knees to chest. Like I know part of that was to make sure Jane didn't hear what he had to say, but you can also tell like the fuck is you doing call? I'm sure they had an agreement, don't call me. And that's what Walt says, like, bro, where your burner at? Where your phone? And this nigga looked like, oh shit. Which little breadcrumbs of Jesse's distracted. He's got a girl now. He gets some consistent sex. You know, he's distracted. Normally, when he was distracted, it's because he was sparking up or,
Getting high.
getting high, whatever the case is. Now it's because somebody got his heart. I don't know how well Walt's picking up on it yet, but we see it as viewers like, okay, it's a little bit different when Jane's around. Walt says they need to cook. They need to cook. They need to shop for new equipment. They need to go on a marathon. And Jesse said, "Nigga, I'm about to go to Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. I ain't doing none of that." And of course, Walt lies. The methylamine's going bad. It's going to lose its potency. You want to steal some more? No? All right, go buy this shit. We're going to meet up. We're going to end up cooking. I thought it was funny when Walt told him, he told Walt he had plans. He said, smoking marijuana, eating Cheetos, and masturbating do not constitute as plans in my book. 4 days.
Forget your book. That's what I felt, Jesse.
Nigga, this ain't your book, nigga. It's my book, nigga.
So we can take it a bunch of different ways. What do we think about Jesse and Jane as we see them continue to grow? And actually, we can see the good that she's trying to bring in his life. Like, I'm going to introduce you to some different things. And also, Walt coming in and messing it up, and Jesse lying to Jesse about having to cook.
Yeah, you see, obviously they're doing the color scheme thing is one of the brilliance that they do on this show. You see that like originally in his house, the blinds are like completely closed and dark, but as each episode has progressed, the blinds get a little bit more open and it gets a little bit more light in the house. And it's gotten so light to the point now he's got yellow, he got a whole yellow set on his bed. So it's like, it's giving the vibe of like, brighter days are coming. Good things are happening, So I think that's intentional. Shout out to Jane for the standover action because I'll be honest, you ain't gonna even get out the room for real. Like, all right, hold up. If he had called, like, hold up. It's like, hey, what you think this is? I'm just saying. Hey, y'all know how mochaccino do, man. I gotta mix it up.
Mm-hmm. That's all I gotta say is mm-hmm.
Nah, the standover action was good. I like what you pointed out about the lighting. Walt is so self-absorbed with himself, he don't even notice that these things are coming from. Like, he ain't even put two and two together. Like, oh, the girl next door, it gotta be her. This nigga talking about Georgia O'Keeffe going to like fucking paintings. Like, what?
Yeah.
And the fact that Walt's so self-consumed with himself and wasn't able to put two and two together, not even know it's Jane, but to probably think like the first thing we think your nigga start doing new shit, your homie start doing new shit and start talking about shit. I'm going to the museum tonight, break. Like, nigga, what? Who you talking? What the fuck are you talking about? So and you kind of pick up, he got a new girl, but Walt's so oblivious to all of this. It's interesting. I think that's an interesting thing that they plan on.
He found the earring. Remember, he found the earring, knew that a woman had been over there. Yeah. And you made a great point, Spike. Like, nigga, you ain't ate a green vegetable in 4 years, and you going to the museum tonight? Like, who the fuck is in your life? What you got going on? That's not a random thing. You don't just add that to your arsenal. Like, somebody had to inspire this
on a random day. Like, yeah, like I'm Jesse. I'm just going to the museum. Like, nigga, it's a Tuesday. What you talking about?
Yeah, I think y'all covered it really.
I did want to say this too.
Yeah,
there's still this. I mean, some people will probably question what is this hold that Walt has over Jesse to get him, even with that lie, the methylamine. And Jesse, like you said, watching him turn into a little boy, there's an interesting part in the sense that he still yearns for approval. He still yearns for someone to be proud of him. And he realizes that in some sense, he's getting that over with him. And there's a moment in here later that's funny, but he still yearns for that. And right now, as much as he messes up things, in his mind, at least I believe, is like, and we'll really get it later in the episode. It's like he ain't gave up on me, even though Walt got his own goals. It's not really even about Jesse at all, but in Jesse's mind, he ain't gave up on me, even though I messed up and this and that. He's still been patient with me, and so there's still this father-son dynamic similar to Tony and Christopher Moltisanti. So it was just a real interesting thing. Like, well, I got a girl, like, and I definitely thought about Love Don't Cost a Thing. Alvin got a girl now. He don't need y'all nerd looking asses coming around here no more. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to touch up on that part.
Absolutely. As we transition and continue to move forward, we have Skylar. This is crazy. Y'all, this is fucking nuts. I ain't never been this deep into it to where I got to go to these extents. This nigga literally has his pregnant wife drop him off at the airport.
He bought a ticket.
Doesn't even. Nah, you probably did.
Skylar,
you know
he probably did buy a ticket.
You probably right.
That's what got me
think about that.
He bought a whole ticket. Like he ate that. It's the cost of business right now. He bought a round trip ticket to go nowhere, bro.
I did not even think about that. That's a great observation, Mo. Just like the
Walter White,
like the lighting that you said.
Because look, he pulled the paper.
Nasty.
He pulled the paper out his he pulled it out of his blazer. Like he was like this.
He a nasty dude, bro. Walter White is a nasty dude, man.
I wonder where moms live.
Jesus.
We didn't even get that. I wonder where she lived or where she is. Either way.
I wonder where Harpo's having his dinner.
What's Harpo's having his Sunday dinner? I just can't get over the scene every time she pulls up in that car. I'm like, you got your 8-month or 7-month pregnant wife dropping you off at the airport. You could at least ask for a taxi and just met Jesse somewhere doing whatever, you know. But she probably thinking, you know what? Never mind. Skylar ain't going for that. We ain't got no money. Skylar, they ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So you're not about to use money for a taxi when I could easily just take you. So that makes sense. I'll backpedal on that. He packed the bag and everything, luggage, all that shit.
Yeah,
dressed up like the airport trip, like the old
airport clothes. Yeah, the old school. Hey, I like that blazer though. I ain't gonna lie.
It was a nice blazer.
Yeah.
Walks in the airport and then comes right back out when Skylar leaves. And Bryan Cranston's facial expression, like the expression acting when he sees that RV pull up. Because I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'd have been on the same thing. Like, nigga, you brought a meth lab to a federal building.
I don't even know if I would have got in. I just call a cab, bro. Right. I'll meet you somewhere.
We gonna count how many, because obviously Jesse's not gonna get the award of this episode. So let's count the that's the first mistake Jesse's made today. Because we got to get a meter going for this.
But
but Walt got one too with the mama lie. You can't help it that Skylar's stupid. Walt, that's dumb.
He got it off. So
that's dumb. I don't think he got it off though. That's the thing. That's my whole problem with it. He didn't get it off. Skylar do not believe him. She just let him live. She let him live.
So she don't believe. So she said wherever you're flying is okay because you think you're dying. That's.
She don't believe he going to his mom's house. I as a viewer don't believe that she's that gullible to believe that. She don't think she don't know what's going on, but she know what he's telling her ain't the truth.
Nah, bro, not on this one. Because it's like him and his mother don't talk that much, and right before that, he tells her like, "Bruh, I seen the chart, and I believe this is not. We got to be prepared. I don't believe this is gonna work out for me. I really got to go back to my mom's and see if she got anything left for me, and let her know what's going on. Like again, it's definitely TV magic, but she not just about to be like, oh, he's lying, but let him have it for 4 days with no man. Come on.
I want to see. I want to see is the nigga gonna get caught. She's
giving her too much now.
You know how the girls say she's strictly in it for the plot now. Like, all right, this nigga.
Like, you give it too much.
He would, bro. Mo, the nigga disappeared for 4 days and came back naked. Like everything is on the table right now. She like, okay, yeah. Like I want to see how.
So I'm gonna be okay that he's lying and possibly could end up naked somewhere else.
Only to see how the plot play out. Nah. That's only to see. She just really. This is
trying 2009, to see, brother.
How far is this nigga finna push this? She don't believe. Like, there's no way she believe that. There's no way. If she did believe it, she would have called him at his mama house. She would have hit him up one of these 3-4 days. She don't believe it. She just don't
believe. That's why she didn't call, because she believed it.
No, bro. She called because she don't believe this nigga. He out here wilding, and she know it. She just don't know what he doing yet. It's like women intuition. What they tell you all the time. You got a wife, you know this. Yeah, they know something going on, but they don't know what it is. They can't put their finger on it yet, but they know. And when they tell you that, and you know something going on, you get that feeling in your stomach, like, God damn, how she know that? That's where he at right now.
Nah, not this. This is too far. This is too far out in coverage, bro. I appreciate
us. Not white people. I feel like white people let people get this off.
Well,
This is a white
that's fine in a sense with the white family. But
Yeah,
I'm
well, white people
saying
let you get this
she's
off.
not letting him get this off at this stage, bro. Like, oh, you're going. I think she really believes this is the last time that she's gonna. I feel like, and I ain't rewatched this similar to Rich, but I feel like this is the last time that she's gonna like let him get this off. Like, okay, we've rebuilt. I'm back working again. Fine. He wants to see his mother. Cool. We know it's BS, but it's just saying, oh, I know he's not, but I'm just going to see what happens. Like, nah, I don't think Skylar has that. She don't got that in her.
She building her case. Skylar's a good detective, maybe better than Hank. All she like if you get caught up by the police and they know you finna get out and be on some bullshit, they gonna let you go because they know you finna go out there and do some old bullshit that they can put on your jacket. That's what she doing right now. She like, I don't know when I'm gonna catch you. I don't know how I'm gonna catch you, but I'm gonna catch you, nigga. I promise you. That's how she looking at it right now.
Spike cooking.
This would have been This would have been a good weekend for a later plot. If they were doing a back and forth plot on this episode, saying like similar to Tony in college and then Carmela with Father Phil, this would have been an interesting moment to have another plot kick in to me.
My thing.
Give me an example.
Like with Skylar, like, oh, he's gone for the weekend. That mean and then Flynn is gone as well.
Pull up on Ted or something like that.
Like just like built towards that. This is a perfect because obviously they do something a little different, but yeah, that to me this would have been an ideal situation for B plot.
I was gonna say I just don't. With this being my first rewatch, I don't remember how she finds out, and that's what I'm most fascinated with right now.
Mm-hmm.
The big reveal, the big twist. I can't remember. I know if I'm pretty confident it's this season, towards the end of it, but I just can't remember how it plays out. So I'm looking forward to that moment.
I do remember, and that's why I'm saying this.
Okay, fair enough.
Like that, that's why I'm saying she don't believe him right now. Like she like
okay, all right, yeah. When that comes, bring that back because when that comes, I'll stand corrected if I'm looking at it and get that reveal.
That's why I say you cooking. Everything makes sense. It doesn't feel right. We don't believe it. So his wife definitely don't, especially after all the other bullshit you've been on. So I get that. Just to drop it off at the airport was still crazy though, and that makes it even more hilarious because Skylar's like, oh, this nigga taking it there. Like he bought a ticket. He want me to take him to
nigga got a fake ticket and everything. Oh, okay, all right, okay.
This is where I would love to see Skylar's point of view on things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that would be hilarious.
Yes.
It's like she knows, like, oh, this nigga really taking it there. Okay,
got the jacket on and shit. Oh,
big jacket.
She might low key respect it. Like, this nigga gonna die with the lie, literally. Like, I feel it. So, they make their way to the desert. Jesse and Walt make their way to the desert, driving on the highway, dirt roads, all the way. Let me ask y'all a question because I thought about this. Would y'all still be paranoid? Even if you make sure you drive to the most obscure place in the desert, we're not, Southwestern. We don't live in the Southwest where it's, desert and mountains and all that. So you might be living in that area in Phoenix, New Mexico, wherever it is, or Arizona, should I say, not just Phoenix, and say to yourself, oh, if y'all live here, y'all will understand this is completely obscure. Nobody's going to find you out here. But there's still a little bit of me saying like, yo, we cooking federal level meth. I don't know. I just feel like I'm still in the open. It just feels a little bit odd to me. Does that ever cross your mind?
Yeah.
Like I know they do a good job of going all the way out the way, but I still like some random whoever is going to stumble across this, and then what?
Because you're so out of the way that you're in the way, in the sense if somebody comes past it,
obvious. If somebody
obvious,
exactly.
But then again, it's an RV, so it's like
they might be out there chilling.
It's free land. Like I don't have to pay any rent space to have my RV here too. So
yeah. I'm with you in the sense, Rich. I just don't have enough information about the Southwest to know if this is believable or not. I've seen enough movies in Vegas where they taking people out to the desert in Arizona and shit like that for me to be like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like Skylar sort of with Walt Small. Like that's how I feel about it. Like, okay, if y'all telling me this is cool, I guess
he should have just called his mom, put it on game.
Yeah, when there's nobody
I was
out
wondering
there,
too. Did he call her?
Should just call to put it on game.
And Walt 50, how old is his mom? Like 80? Is she gonna remember? She's like, oh, it's a lot. But yeah, I do understand what you, Rich. Like, I don't know if that's obvious that they write it out of the way like that, or if it's smart.
I would love if I would love if Skylar looked at this nigga Walt about his mom, hit her with the Tony Soprano. Did she ever really exist?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is this random mama you talking about?
Yeah, right. Or
But either way,
Walt comes back and says she asked about you.
She asked about you.
She adores you.
That's hilarious. That's good.
Play it in her face.
That was good.
Mo. That's good, Mo. She asked about you.
Oh man.
It, also, just real quick, it does make sense. Why would I be out here patrolling this area if there's nothing to patrol? Like, if I know there's no people out here from miles and miles and miles, like, if y'all get that off, man, good luck. Have fun. We'll get y'all on the way back into town.
I'd be more scared I get lost than somebody finding me, to be honest with you. I wouldn't
shit.
worry about. I'd be worried about, like, man, were you sure it's the right place?
Yeah, low key.
That's some real shit. Walt's questioning how Jesse's even alive. He sees the Funyuns, the cereal, the gummies, and it's just like, bro, like, you don't have no protein. Yeah, like, seriously, how are you living right now? Like, how are you not just all fucked up? Walt's probably thinking, like, how am I the one with cancer?
But to that point, ain't no stove in there. What was he supposed to bring?
That's fair.
A cold cuts? I mean,
like sandwiches stuff.
I mean, you ain't got much on it. Like, once it get too warm in there, but like, at least sandwiches.
Just chips is crazy. Just chips is nuts.
Chips, like,
I'm
that's
not living
crazy.
off chips for 4 days.
You need a couple subs or something. Yeah, that's true. You can buy a couple gas station sandwiches or something.
Yeah. He established that it was going to be 4 days. He established that.
Yeah.
They established it was going to be 4 days.
That's wild. Like, just,
you said
you could start a fire. Hey man, I'm a glizzy. I don't do the pause on the glizzies. Yeah, you could have brought the glizzies out there. I fuck with a glizzy, so pause.
I just wanted to hear you say,
stop playing. We grill.
I fuck with the glizzies. Like, y'all ain't never gonna shame me. Y'all never gonna shame me into not eating glizzies.
Not ever. I'm ordering this at the basketball game, son.
Double fisted, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, let's go.
I'm planning this all week, son.
Right.
Straight up. Y'all ain't never gonna get me. But either way, this scene is really just to set it up to let us know we're really out in the desert. There's little to no reception. Walt is paranoid. And once again, this goes back to what we've already been talking about. You're paranoid enough to not let Jesse use your phone because Skylar's going to check your phone records, but you didn't think of a better lie, so why you need to disappear for 4 days. It's just backwards. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you give a fuck about this because of Skylar checking? She knows more than that. Like, I don't know.
That's man logic, though.
Also, it is man logic. It is man logic.
Where y'all think Jesse told Jane he went?
So I'm gonna get to this. But not right now. Well, actually, we can talk about it right now because Walt made a joke about, I don't need Skylar calling this number and a stripper answers, and Jesse kind of checked him like, yo, she ain't a stripper. And Walt kind of gave him that look. I think we've all been there before. Your homeboy might wife up the chick who might have been around or whatever.
Fall back. I better fall back.
You realize he's serious, and then you like everybody might have hit, and then you realize he's serious, and you got to really stop. Like, oh, okay, my bad. I ain't know it was like that.
My bad.
No disrespect,
old lady.
No disrespect, bro.
Like Tommy from Martin when he had to check Martin about Pam. He was like,
exactly.
hey, bro, I better fall back here.
I need to bring it here, don't I? But to your point, Spike Lou, I have no idea. And that's the worst time when you are starting something new. Like, y'all don't know each other well enough. You know each other well enough to where y'all sleeping with each other, but you don't know each other well enough to know exactly what's going on. I see you hiding and going to the next room, closing your door once you got this phone call from this guy. 4 days with nothing. James has every right to not fuck with you. Like, if y'all locked in, that's one thing. But she has every right not to fuck with you, bro. 4 days and no comment. I'm curious to know if that gets brought up next episode. What did you tell her?
You just start smashing a chick and you dip out on her for 4 days. It's over with.
It's over.
Ain't no. Hey, what's up? What you doing? Nah, nigga. She burning you at the stake.
It's over for you. The only thing he has in his favor right now is her neighbors, and she can at least know he's not like You know, I don't know what he's gonna tell her. I don't know what he did tell her, but that part, I thought about it like, damn, that's rough. That's rough. And that's probably why Jesse didn't want to go. Nigga, I'm getting some. When's the last time Jesse had some consistent yams that he ain't had to pay for?
Good, like decent
The
pussy
crack,
too,
the
though.
crackhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it ain't even.
Nah, he had to pay for that. Some way,
Nah,
whether it's meth or money.
He had to wait for that.
Also, in this scene, we get a moment where, you know, Walt snaps at Jesse, telling him not to put the keys on the workstation. So we see Jesse put the keys in the ignition. Out of everything we just talked about, Jesse and his snacks, Jesse not being able to use the phone, Jesse checking Walt about, you know, his girl not being a stripper. Any comments on what's going on, and even the keys? It's obviously foreshadowing, but any comments on anything that's going on in this scene?
I would put just as much blame on anybody who let him put the keys right there. I'll say that foreshadowing for a conversation we're gonna have later.
Okay.
You in this RV too, my nigga. You seen this.
Hey, listen, I can't tell y'all, I cannot wait for the crossover episode when we're done with this series of Jesse Pinkman versus Christopher Moltisanti. I cannot wait to have that conversation. I got to see Jesse.
I'm
all the way
interested in
through.
what it is that you want to talk about.
The similar dynamics of this is like the son, the father thing. Who was, you know, who made worse decisions. Who would have been better off? You know, it's a lot of different pieces and parts. But I mean, they obviously get compared a lot. Tony and Walt, and then you see Jesse and Christopher. So I look forward to that like conversation of all of that. But yeah,
fair. Any other thoughts on this?
I did like the montage though. I like the montage. I like the art of it. Like that's some of the gold.
We're not there. I'm about to say we ain't really.
Okay.
Get into that. But this scene, just in the RV, did y'all?
I don't know. I think, and this goes to the relationship that Walt and Jesse have that we're speaking on. Why is it Jesse's responsibility to do all of this? Like, we're partners. Like you.
Why do you trust him to do this?
That too. You're a 50-year-old man. You should bring food. You should bring water. You should do the things that you know are necessities. Like, it just adds to what I keep saying about the rewatch. It's like, yeah, the first time you watch this, you get what Walt is saying, but every other time you watch it, it's like, nigga, you an adult too. You expected this asshole to bring clean water for 4 days? Like, you expected this dude?
You're sending him a shopping list and everything.
Yeah, like, you expecting him to know what food to get? Like, you just as dumb as he is.
Really though, that's a good point.
That's my biggest gripe for real. Because why are you still trusting him to do certain things? At some point, it's on you. At some point, it's on you. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's a power thing, control thing, whatever. But moving on to what you were going to talk about, Mo, we got the cooking marathon. It's really a sequence of cooking marathon, them going in, and we know they made a total of 19 pounds of blue meth, totaling $672,000 each. They high five. I love that high five moment.
Yeah, me too.
Like, just that. I like just getting hyped.
Yeah,
like we
loosen,
just did this shit.
Yeah, loosen up, bro.
Yeah, like when you get some good news or you finally something you've been working on finally pays off, you gotta. I felt that.
Yeah, I did too.
I know what that's like. I know what that's like to just kind of like, yeah, we here, because it wasn't just a simple high five. It's letting all that emotion out, and then Jesse pretty much tells him, well, actually, Jesse's ready to call it. He's like, we done. And Walt's like, man, we got about 10, 12 more gallons of this. We can keep cooking. Well, Jesse tells him, listen, man, we can at least take the night off. I ain't got to take it back till Tuesday. It seems like they're ahead of schedule. Let's at least take the night off. Let's go find some Denny's. What a celebration meal. Let's get some Denny's. We can get a hotel, get a shower, and all that stuff. Walt's down for it, and then they put the keys in that ignition, or excuse me, try to turn it, and they realize the battery is dead, and Walt gets mad at Jesse for putting it in the ignition. All right, Mo, I know you said you like the montage, and then, of course, we get them trying to leave. What's your thoughts on it?
Couple of things. So this episode, I compared it to 2 different episodes from 2 different shows. So one episode that I tied it into was from their prequel, Better Call Saul. Yeah, I know the famous episode, Bagman. Like where you pretty much spend majority of the time in the desert with, with Saul. So I say, oh, and then even like when Walt has the thing on his head, later. You did that same thing. Saul had that, So I was like, okay, good. I like how they, brought that thing back. Then it also made me look at this episode, and I said, "Is this Breaking Bad's Pine Barrens?" Because different weather, different conditions, but when you think about it, remember Paulie and Chris were like, they were supposed to, obviously supposed to be a simple pickup. It progressed so much from there. But even after that, they were like, we're going to bury him. We're going to go get us a steak, get us a hotel. So that's where I was like, that's like, it feels real similar to that. And this episode actually, compared to every episode prior, has a lot of comic relief actually, to me. Which is similar to Pine Barrens for The Sopranos. Now, I don't think it's regarded like that. I don't know. I know Rich normally pulls up the rankings, so I don't know how it's regarded. But in some sense,
this episode is a 9.2 out of 10.
I'm saying where is it ranked in the best?
19 out of 62.
19. Okay, so but I was kind of looking at is this their Pine Barrens? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I wanted to say as far as that montage and everything. That's kind of spawned some thoughts.
We should do that every episode where it ranked on that list that the Ringer did.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing it because that makes sense. Like I said, last week is the highest episode. Last week's Better Call Saul was the highest rated episode of season 2. It came out at number 12.
I wonder what's the highest rated episode that we've done so far.
Cats in the River or the Bags in the River.
Bags
that
in the
was
River.
10.
Which is what I said.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. The pilot was number 6 on the list.
Interesting.
Pilot's number 6.
Yeah, majority of the top 10 is season 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
But what did crack the top 10 was the pilot, and like I said, the Bags in the River was number 10.
So here's where I see it different from Pine Barrens, Mo. Shout out to Acid Jax. He said I agree with everything you say. We had multiple disagreements this episode. These are two main characters that are being taken out of rotation and out here in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
With The Sopranos, it wasn't two main. If this was Badger and Stinky Pete, I wouldn't enjoy it, but it would probably be more similar to Pine Barrens. The Sopranos has much better supporting actors, so I can do this with Chris and I can do this with Paulie, and it can be great. And Tony don't have to be in the majority of the episode. It's going to be these two out here in the middle of nowhere. The frustrating thing about this episode for me is it takes them out of the fray of what's going on. Therefore, it doesn't move the story forward at all, other than them cooking that much meth, which I get. I understand they had to take time out to do that, but they had to leave everything else behind, and we don't get anything pushing the story forward in this episode other than, now they got to figure out, just like Paulie and Chris had to figure out how to get out of this fucked up situation that they caused themselves, which really don't push forward the narrative of what's going on in Breaking Bad right now. So while I understand this episode, I do appreciate the comic relief. I'd hate that they had to be stuck out here doing this, and this is what we needed to get to the next phase. I don't like it. I don't like that I don't like that Skylar and Walt not interacting and her figuring him out more. I don't like that we didn't get Hank more in this episode trying to figure out what was going on. After that look at the end of the last episode where I wanted to see him dive in more. You don't think that this is the right thing to happen? This ain't the right person that gets arrested. What does Hank do next? That's interesting to me. Them being stuck out here because Jesse's dumb, and it's not interesting.
Interesting. No pun. I misspoke as well. This episode is number 27. My apologies, not 19. It's number 27. It's one behind Peekaboo. Peekaboo's 26. The lowest rated we did was Down, which was this season. I think that's number 50 or something like that. But either way, that's a great point. But I do see what you're saying, Mo. In this world, yes, it is. To answer your question, it is in this world. It's just not done as well.
Yeah, I know what you were saying, Spike. But we had said a few episodes back where these two are the main characters, but it's other characters around them make it more interesting.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if, and I think this is probably intentional, these are the main characters, but they really have side character syndrome. But they happen to be put to the forefront, which I think is intentional because these are everyday people versus Mitch.
Mafia bosses.
Like a Tony or a Mitch. You know what I'm saying? So that I think that's intentional. So that's why I still feel similar, even though that was a good point you made about Paulie and Chris not being the main character, but part of the ensemble and not executed as well. But I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? This is
I get the sentiment. What
yeah,
you're saying,
because they
100%.
stay in this moment similar, but we didn't. I also agree with you, and Rich. I know you want to say some stuff. I also agree with you. I wish we would have got some side stuff because when you go to Pine Barrens, we get that interesting stuff.
Tony is a big thing with Tony.
Tony and Gloria. We get that whole thing.
That's
like
what she threw the steak, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you think you can F me? And then just like, that whole everything. I'll call your wife. Like, yeah. So that's kind of one of the things.
That should have been Carmela's side quest here. That should have been
the
fuck out. Like,
Skylar.
this would have been a much better, excuse me. Damn, I said Carmela. This would have been a much better episode if we going back and forth with Skylar figuring out, oh, this nigga ain't even at his mama house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah. So like,
yeah.
That's a fact. The only thing I will say was shit. What was I going to say? That's why Spike be interrupting people because he don't want to lose his thought. Damn, I forgot.
you learn as you get older. You got to do
Oh, no. I was going to ask you, Spike, how many times did you watch this in prep?
Third. This is my third time watching it while we talking.
All right, never mind then. I found myself in everything you're saying is right. It could I didn't need it, but I did find myself enjoying it a little bit more. I found it. Part of this is probably because I know we're doing it for a podcast. I found myself annoyed the first watch because I felt like I have to watch this. I have to talk about this. And then the second watch, just kind of just watching it casually. And after I refreshed myself on what happened, I enjoyed it a little bit more that second time. I thought things were a little bit funnier that second time. You watching it 3 times. That's why you a fucking pro. You a champ. Because I would never.
Yeah, I only watched it. I'm one and done. But I think for me, this is one of Breaking Bad superpowers. It's like the long formatted like story, like which is why I like and the bag is in the river because they spend so much time in the scene and they do that here. Which it's more interesting. I think they do it better now than they were doing before, with the exception of Bag in the River. But I do understand how people wouldn't like this episode. I could totally see why. It's just back to the slow movement. But it was a little more interesting to me in this style versus some of the previous ones.
Makes complete sense. All right. Buckle up, folks. I'm going to put you through a montage and kind of talk about it as we go. But the next 15, 20 minutes or so are kind of one big scene. So I'm going to break it up. I'm going to pause for us to talk about certain things, but we're going to keep this moving. So here's how it turns into once the battery is dead, this episode turns into how are we going to get out of this desert? We talked earlier in this episode about if y'all were worried about being in this obscure place, and Spike even mentioned my biggest fear is getting lost. My second biggest fear is probably us getting stuck. Because how the fuck are we going to get out of here? So they want to jump the battery so they can get out of there. We see the gas getting pulled out. They're trying to work on the generator with no luck, and it catches on fire as Jesse's pulling. Instead of waiting for Walt to get the fire extinguisher, Jesse, in true Jesse fashions, takes the remainder of their water and pours it on the generator, not only wasting their water, but also destroying any chance of the generator working. Jesse calls Stinky Pete, which this is who you have to call to save you. You should already know.
You did.
We did. Bro. He called Stinky Pete, and once he gave them directions, I knew because I couldn't even keep up with them type of directions. And shout out to life in 2009. Shout out to life before smartphones. This is still the area where you had to print out your MapQuest. You know what I mean? Like,
you couldn't drop your location. You couldn't drop the low.
Couldn't do none of that,
totally,
bro. Like,
totally
I literally
different.
Grab a pen. I'm about to tell you where I'm at, and buckle up because it's a long way away. You really had to depend on that. And like I said, Sticky Pete probably high right now. Like, bro, you're not coming out here. I'm not even depending on that. So we know that's not happening. They try to get an update from him. Phone dies. He talked about he had a river. There wasn't no river. Like, you lost. We get it. Then they try to trickle charge in effect. Where Walt's outside in the heat, winding it up, explaining to Jesse how this is going to work. Like I said, it's hot. There's no water. You can see they're getting dehydrated. Jesse walks up to Walt and notices Walt coughing and then puts it together in that moment that methylamine doesn't spoil, does it? We're out here because your cough is getting worse, which means you're probably getting sicker. Let's stop real quick. We talked about just the different methods of what they're trying to do to get this to get out of the desert. But Jesse approaching Walt and putting two and two together. A, what do you think it was that triggered that for him? Because he's been coughing the past couple episodes. And B, because this is before the blood. At first, when I was watching, I'm like, oh, did he? Nah, he ain't cough blood until later. So, what was it for Jesse that he realized this? And how do y'all feel about just these methods of them trying to get out? I know Spike don't care, but what y'all think? What y'all think about the Jesse and Walt conversation once he realizes that, hey, you lied to me?
Sorry, y'all. Not trying to do that to y'all show, but y'all already did this. Like y'all already literally had a desert scene. Jesse figured out he had that Walt had cancer. He had an aunt that had cancer. Y'all already did this. So now you're doing this. It's literally the same thing again, turning back around and like, hey, I know why we're out here. It's like, yeah, this is just filler. I felt the sentiment of it. I think it was acted very well, but again, y'all have already done this. It's like, okay, we're not really out here for this. The show is. This is why the later characters help. The show is trying to it's like, are y'all trying to be smart, or you're trying to be ignorant, or what are we supposed to believe? What are we supposed to suspend? And that's where like these moments keep happening of like, oh, he is smart, but he's not smart, but he is smart. And I get maybe he's saying, oh, this is how humans are or whatever, but I don't know. We already got this as far as this part of it. But man, bruh, this was funny. Like I found myself chuckling a few times watching the episode because like he was like, well, I just thought that. Oh, you thought. Oh, now we see the problem. Like,
Jesse thinking is the problem.
That's the problem.
Yes.
That's nuts to say to somebody.
Like, Walt be talking greasy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It was so funny. Like some of the Walt lines of like him with the keys and the thing, and it was some funny stuff like that dry humor that was really funny to me.
You nailed it, Mo, in the sense of like, bro, we seen this already. I don't care. Like, I don't need to see y'all bond. Like the relationship.
I don't need to see how Bod is a Spike Lee line for sure.
Like the relationship is established by now. Like, bro, I don't need this. I don't need them stuck out here under covers talking about a nigga drinking urine and like, bro, like get to the point. And I do think that there was a significant shift somewhere in the writing, somewhere in the forecast of where they wanted this show to go from these episodes to the ones that we remember and know and love. This is pointless. Like, even when we talk about comparing this to Pine Barrens, I like Paulie. I like Chris. Like, those are characters that I don't mind spending an episode with because I don't spend every episode with them. I spend every episode with these two people in Breaking Bad. I don't want to see them stuck in the desert with like no plan. Like, I don't care to see them talking it out.
Who would you prefer? Hank and Gomi?
I don't even think they don't even have the characters in the show to do this now.
They don't even have the characters for it.
Yeah, like the characters that could do this, like are coming up.
They
like,
did it in better. The characters that could do it, they did it better.
They did it better Call Saul, and it worked better. Those were the characters that I would have wanted to see.
Yeah.
Those people.
Dang, good point, Rich.
Yeah, very good points. And then too, like what you said earlier about the science of it all and how unbelievable it is. Like all of a sudden he figures out this plan that he can charge the battery. Like we've been sitting here overnight, like this just now hit you, and that goes to the point of acid email when like Walt is like realization smart versus real time. I can get this done smart. Like he has to think about it, has to process with him, and that's different from Jimmy, and that's why he's good. And excuse me, that's different from Saul, and that's why he was the perfect pitch for this show. What were you about to say, Rich?
No, I was just gonna say let's get into that because we technically aren't there yet, but let's talk about it because it was even more than that, Spike. It actually took Jesse to motivate him. But there's an important moment that I would at least want to talk to y'all about before we get there. So we're at the moment where they out in the art. Jesse's like I said, he figured out why they out there. They finally get it going, and then it shuts off quickly. So they really think that they stuck, and Walt's coughing up blood. So we're at that moment, and then we go inside. Well, Walt is having this moment where he's, in a sense, absolving himself to Jesse. I wanted to know if y'all think this is genuine when he's on that cot and said, he had this coming, he deserves this. which he does. He deserves everything bad that's coming to him, or if it does. But Jesse's the one trying to cheerlead for him. Hey man, you did this for your family. Walt said all I did was worry them, I disappointed them, and I lied to them. And he seems remorseful. Did you guys buy that? Is that genuine? Is this knowing that this is a man who truly believes that I'm at the end of my life? Do you believe that what he's saying about man, all I did was lie, manipulate, blah blah blah? Is this real coming from Walt? Because it's hard to tell sometimes.
I think so. Similar to what Spike said about him talking to the therapist when he told him like all that stuff. He's like, "Yeah, that was a real moment." I think this was a real moment. But what stood out to me right before seeing the blood coughed up was like when they were trying to get the car going and Jesse started it, and Jesse literally started crashing out.
Great
and,
acting.
and oh my gosh,
I was
like,
gonna mention that too.
hey,
You did
bro,
fucking great acting by
because
Jesse.
his hit, like, wasn't it Aaron Paul?
Aaron
Yeah.
Paul.
Listen, like, you talk about feeling the emotion of like, cause he like it's the strandedness and like you're starting to get hungry and you're starting to get thirsty and it's super hot and you're at such a level of discomfort, like, and you realize it ain't that and you don't have no options. You can't just like, this ain't 2026 where you can sing your location, call a Uber Eats, any kind of way to kind of like, bruh, like I felt his crash out. I was like, like a grown man getting emotional like that. Like I was
panic.
like,
Can I give y'all some insight? Can I give y'all some insight on this?
yeah.
So it was over 100 degrees when they really shot this.
Oh, I believe it.
Aaron Paul went 24 hours without drinking any water so he can really feel like dehydrated and get into the character of Jesse. So I think a lot of that was real, like, yo, I'm fucked up right now. Like all this shit is frustrating. That was an incredible acting job.
That panic, like the pump in the brake and like the
man.
face, like all of it was fucking amazing.
Yes.
That was the best thing about like he bodied that. Like you looking at him like we probably all have been there before. We like this gotta work. And then it worked for a second and then it don't work. You like, no. Like he bodied that.
That used to me being playing when the Nintendo and Sega games ain't working. I'm just trying to blow in the cartridge and they still don't work. I'm sitting here crashing out like, no.
Or just getting beat by the computer in general. You like,
like you almost got them in last minute. They start hitting you with the combos.
I'm starting this over.
Yeah, man. But as Walt, we're going back to what I said earlier. Spike, do you believe Walt?
I don't believe shit Walt said. I don't believe goddamn thing dude say.
Hey, Spike and Skylar right now. Like I don't believe.
Yeah, I'm Skylar. Like I don't believe nothing. You got me already, bro.
I align with
already
Skylar.
out of there.
You got me.
You got me.
So we get back to
how about that? How about that?
How about that? Hey, Bobby, that's still a classic look. That was that moment. Bobby knew in that moment. Like, I'm about to put hands with this nigga.
I'm fuck him up.
I'm about to put hands with this nigga tonight.
Hey,
it's gonna be one of them nights.
Put my hands on my brother-in-law right now.
I want to watch that again tonight.
I swear,
How about that?
Yeah, like, he was wilding, bro. Like you singing a diss record to your sister. Your brother-in-law's wife, and then you double it down. How about that? You got a problem with what you gonna do? Like,
yeah, man. Tell me you can't make up the rules out. We just did that. How about that? All right. Anyway, Jesse gives a speech about
y'all go check out Soprano Home movies on Good Earners, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Soprano Home movies, man. Good Earners episode, classic Good Earners episode, classic Sopranos episode. But as Walt is sitting here wallowing in his self guilt, Jesse's the one saying, hey, man, you need to snap out of this shit. Because Jesse wanted to leave. Jesse said, I'm walking, man. Fuck this. But Walt, being as smart as he is, tells Jesse, bro, with your lack of electrolytes, bro, and as far as we are out here, you're gonna die. Which was sound advice. Jesse, you should know that, but I feel him wanting to get up. It's better than just sitting here. And that's when Jesse kind of snaps him out of it. Like, man, you need to do something scientific. You made a bomb out of beans. Like, I know you can figure something out. Maybe we can, and Jesse starts getting up, maybe we can build a robot. Maybe we can kind of build some kind of flare to throw off in the sky. All of that stuff. Maybe we can build a new battery. And as he's going through it, it hits Walt that, damn, we can make a new battery. Now, here's the thing. I can appreciate the fact that we've never really seen anything like this from a show. As far as like really getting your MacGyver on, and this guy's a genius in his profession. He could probably try to figure out how to make a battery. But come on, be for fucking real, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Bro, how you gonna take the brake pads off the car?
So here's the thing. Well, all right. I'm glad you said that, Spike, because we see him kick the toolbox of Jesse. Me, as a man who knows how to change brakes, I can tell you right now, Jesse Pinkman does not know how to change brakes. He does not know how to get them brake pads. I can guarantee you that shit. There's a scene that we didn't see where Walt had to go outside and help him, and I don't even know if they had the proper tools in that toolbox to get the job done. But I can.
What you need? What you
put
need to
my,
change brake pads? Like a wrench or like what you need?
Well, first you need the lug. You need to take the lug nuts off. And now maybe
Right.
it's different on the RV. Normally you would have to jack the car.
You got to
up.
jack it up. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure they didn't have a jack.
You take the actual lug nuts off, and then from there you need a wrench for the caliper to
Right.
unloose that, and then you can kind of squeeze the brake pad in from there. Like it will
But
drop out.
can you drive a car with no brake pads on there?
Yeah, you're just gonna be fucked up.
It's just gonna be like loud, like the little
That's all
grind.
you're gonna hear the grounding sound
The
because it's
grinding
going
sound.
straight. The caliper is gonna be hitting the rotor directly.
The
But once
rotor,
again,
okay.
maybe RVs are built differently. But I know for a fact, your brake pads, if you take them out, you might as well just go ahead and get your new brakes. And with where they got to go and in the desert, I wouldn't even trust that. But it is what it is.
But
man.
they, but they, and they,
TV
but
magic.
when they look at like how much money we about to get, oh yeah, we'll put some new pads on there. Ain't no problem. Well,
But
you know,
can you drive it? That's my question. Are you right, Mo? Like
can
I
drive
get it. Like we can be like, okay, yeah, fuck it, we'll get some more brake pads. Are you able to drive that RV with no brake pads?
Yeah, it's gonna be a very expensive unless they took the brake pads after. Once they got a charge, unless you took the brake
And put it
pads
back
and told
on.
Jesse to put them back on, that would be the smart move. Because it's not hard. It's not as complicated as what it seems. The difficult part about changing brakes is just bleeding the brake lines, making sure that because you got to there's a tool that you need in order to press the piston back in. You can't just use your hands and do that shit. If you don't got a tool, you're gonna be fucked. So either way, I say all that to say Jesse ain't taking the brake pads off. There's no way I'm gonna believe that. There's nothing Jesse's ever shown me to say that, oh, I trust you with this job. He might not even know what a fucking brake pad looks like, if I'm being all the way real.
That's funny. He don't.
Yeah. So either way. Uh Mo, what about you? What you got? What you got thoughts on this scene and them actually getting this, making this battery to get up out of here?
this I like this better than the beans thing and making an explosion to open the door when they had the mask on to steal the methylamine. I like this better. I'm not saying it's great, but I like it better.
It's kind of a cheat
It's been
code that they
debunked as
use.
well.
Yeah, like that, it being debunked and just like they lean into the science stuff. It seems like early when they get wrote into a corner. Not even just early, they do it later in a scene that I'll point out when we get there. But
Yeah. And
it's a
in
crutch
theory,
for
it would in theory it would work, but charging an RV in this manner, it likely wouldn't. But the copper and all of that stuff, I don't know if y'all know, it's been floating around recently. Vince Gilligan said the funniest line in Breaking Bad to him was from this episode about the robot. Like when Walt finds out, like when Jesse says all these things that they could try to do, and Jesse's trying to figure out what is it. He's like, yeah, you already said it. He said, what, robot? Like him thinking they really gonna make a robot and shit. So it is what, like, I don't know.
No, it was funny. It was funny. It was funny.
It was funny. It was definitely funny. I
Aaron
fucked up
Paul
with the
did a
list.
good job this episode acting.
This is
He
his
did a really
favorite
good job.
episode. He said this is his favorite episode of Breaking Bad.
I could tell.
It's probably a part of it is him doing the method acting of like dehydrating himself to get into character.
Yeah, he was
like,
in his bag.
And then to see the payoff on what came out in post, you know, I can imagine like, man, I like the work that I did there.
Yeah. So actually it works, you know, obviously. You should probably know that. They're not gonna leave the character stranded. If there was a part 2, I'd have been out. But it works. They're able to drive back. And they have a moment at the airport as Jesse's dropping them back off.
Same suit. Same jacket, same
suit.
shirt.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, he packed his bags for a reason.
Hey, that's how we do. We'll wash it and put the same airport clothes on. If depending on how big your bag is, that you're, you know, if you got extra, you got extra. But if you don't, like I'm being concise, this is a carry on, whatever. I might wash it, throw it back on. Hey, we flying back.
Wash it where? On vacation? You gonna wash it on vacation?
Yeah, I mean, most times you flying in with family and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean. He's going to mom's.
You staying at somebody? Okay, I got you.
He going in mom's, so he'll washing. You know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. They have a conversation in the car briefly about, hey, this is coming as soon as I think it is. And Jesse already knows, man. I'll make sure your family get the bread, bro. We just came out here. We did a marathon cook. We'll make sure you good. Any thoughts on this scene? Them getting out and
So
It's
Jesse got 21 pounds of meth on him right now. Is that what we supposed to
they
believe?
dropped it off
Probably more
somewhere.
than 21. They
I
was at
thought.
19.
Well,
They
no,
said
I
10 or
know it
12
ain't on him
pounds.
at the airport, but
Oh,
I think he said 20, right? 20 was it 40
19, I
pounds
thought.
of
Oh, they
So
19.
it was
did.
19, but remember they
Oh,
still
they.
had methylamine when they
So
did that
we're,
19 count.
so we believe that they cooked more after they got the RV going again.
Good point.
No, I think they
No,
left.
I think that's it. The
Yeah, I
19
think
where
they
they
left.
stopped. I'm like, there's
Yeah,
no.
that's a great point, Mo.
Yeah, so 20 pounds of meth he got right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Any thoughts on the conversation about the family or
Again,
anything like that?
it's that father son aspect, that dynamic again, similar to Tony and Chris. I like that. I like those moments, like in between the banter. Um, I'm not saying that Jesse is the son that he always wanted, and I'm not saying that Walt is the father he always wanted, but I am saying that they do feel a void for each other, and even if they don't know they're feeling that void, which is why they have the tolerance. I think for one another's. Him with looking at Jesse's ignorance and Jesse looking at Walt's, um, just like not. I don't even want to say disrespect, but his condescendingness, if that's a word. So, but they tolerate those traits about each other because they feel a void for one another. So I liked it a lot, actually. It felt real emotionally, because Breaking Bad they don't always nail the emotion for me. Not that they're intentionally trying to, but that nailed it for me.
Yeah, that's one thing I will appreciate. There is a bond that you grow with someone when you go through something with them, whether you like them or not. There's plenty of people who played on a basketball team or a football team together. They don't necessarily like each other, but when it comes down to it, they're gonna have each other's back because that's kind of how they were nurtured into that space, right? The Wire season 4, right? There's even though Naaman was a dickhead and there's a ton of stuff about Naaman, when Dookie was getting picked on by the dudes from the East Side, first thing Naaman said was nobody fuck with Dookie but us. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I might not fuck with Dookie, but I'm not gonna let nobody else fuck with Dookie. He
Mm-hmm.
outside the circle. Like, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think
no doubt.
I can appreciate the moments where Jesse is like, all right, bro, like, to come down to it, I got your back. We going through this shit together. We was in the desert together. Like, these are just memories that are gonna be stuck in my brain, and
Yeah.
at the very least, until you start doing some heinous shit,
Yeah. I mean, they got rid of bodies
there's some kind of
together.
respect.
They
Yeah,
clean blood up together. They stole together. Like,
yeah, people think partnership means best friends, and that's not the case.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not the case. Like, we know how to do this one particular thing together very well. Once we do that, we're back to our separate lives, and we need each other to kind of work and all this other stuff. But we ain't cool. We ain't hanging out. We ain't doing this or that, and that happens a lot more than what people think.
Yep.
There's always this obsession for people wanting people to be friends. Oh, they on the same team. I want them to be best friends. Oh, Ader and G-Rod don't like each other. That's weird. We want them to be like, it just is
They
what it is, man. People are
coworkers.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we coworkers. So I think that's very fascinating. But as Jesse drives off, we get part of the final scene of this episode. The family is back, all 5 of them, not just Walt Jr. and Skyler, but we also have Hank and Marie. They're in the oncologist's office, and we find out that Walt is in remission, to Walt's surprise. Now, the oncologist does make sure we know that a lot of people get it misconstrued. Remission just means that we can determine that the tumor hasn't grown. It depends on how well you've been treating the cancer with the chemo. Walt asked him once again. Great acting by Bryan Cranston in this scene. Everybody else is excited. Skyler's excited. Hank. Walt being the one who has to deal with this and carry this. He's the one that kind of carrying a little bit, but I don't want to get too excited. How has my body responded to the cancer? And the oncologist says your tumor has shrunk by 80%, which he can't believe. The whole family can't believe it. Walt's confused because he's coughing up blood, even though he didn't tell anybody. They're on his ass about that. No more secrets is one thing that he's told. And as he's in the bathroom after getting this good news, he looks in the mirror, sees a paper towel dispenser, and just starts punching it and punching it and punching it. And that is how the episode ends. Let's talk about the scene with the family. We find out Walt's in remission.
Strange.
Mo, I know you have a lot to say about it, or Spike. I don't know who wants to start. What do we think about
Strange.
Walt? Not only get me in a remission, but your tumor shrunk by 80%. That's a whole new ball game for Walt.
Your tumor shrunk by 80%, and you respond to that by going to the bathroom and punching
I
the
have a
paper
thought. I
towel
have a thought.
dispenser. I have a thought too, and my thought is the one that I said when we first started. He's broken bad. He needs this, and that's why I thought it would have been a really good plot point to say he don't got cancer no more. Him just lying. Like he needs this to justify everything that he's been doing. Without this, there's no justification for it.
Yeah,
Your
that's
cancer is gone. You ain't got to keep paying for treatment. There's no, you can see it on his face. And you mentioned great acting in that scene. He looks puzzled. He looks complexed. He looks like, oh, damn, this ain't what I was expecting to hear. I just saw that mass thing on my scan when I came out of whatchamacallit. That's why I went and cooked 20 pounds of meth. Like, I didn't expect to hear this. And being that he's such a smart person, he's not used to being wrong. You're wrong now. So not only am I frustrated because I have no justification for selling meth now, I'm also dead ass wrong in my assumptions in what was going to happen. And this shows the true character of who Walt is very early in the
that
series.
that's a very interesting take. The one what I mean is the part about him being wrong about his own diagnosis. I never thought about it from that stance. I thought about it as I the average person, okay, the sane human being, all right, the sane human being with regular thoughts and a regular ego and personality would immediately feel guilt and thinking to themselves, oh, I did this for nothing. I didn't even need to do this. I'm actually getting better. Walt's looking at it from the perspective of, damn, I wanted to be sick to give me an excuse. Now I don't have an excuse. I'm punching this dispenser because now I have to grapple with the fact that I really like this shit. I want to do this shit. Anybody else would have quit. Oh, I'm getting better. I'm good now. I can just go ahead. I got enough to pay for our shit. We made enough meth. I'm getting 462,000. I can pay
We
for these
good.
treatments,
It's over with.
continue them, and we good. My high school job would be cool, all of that. We've even talked about the gray matter of it. He's more so like, damn, I tricked myself into thinking that I was doing it for this reason, and now that reason's taken away. Now I really have to face my own reality of you a human, terrible, fucking piece of shit. Like you a trash ass person. And I'm upset now because I don't have anything else to lean on. I have to find and walk into. It's almost like therapy. Like the hardest thing is actually dealing with yourself. We saw it a lot with Tony. If you ever going through therapy yourself, the hardest thing to ever do really in life is figuring out who you are. You know what I mean? So Walt's having to face that, and now it's all bad. So that's how I interpreted that. But Mo, I know you really probably like this scene, and you said there's a payoff. I want to hear your thoughts on
Yeah.
it.
I think the family scene really worked. Again, not a lot of this, but I think the family scene really worked. Well, I felt it. I like the slow build on it. Uh, my interpretation is even different from both of y'all's with the crash out. For me, it's representative of. I didn't get to say this last episode when we had a conversation with Hanky. He was talking about for 50 years, I've been at 49 years or whatever. I've been in fear, scared about this and scared about that and scared about this, and that's why I don't line up with Spike with the theory of he was already broke bad from when we started because of that statement. I think that statement actually validates that. But I mean, of course,
You're lying, bro.
okay, that's fine. It's up for interpretation, but. So getting to this scene, I think it's not so much like, oh, I wanted to keep doing this, more so than facing the reality. Now I got to go back to what it was. That's what I was thinking. Like I have become a version of myself that I'm excited about. I'm smoking cigars with Hank, talking about crimes adjacent, knowing I'm getting this off. You know what I mean? I'm feeling like big dog. I'm making money. I'm ordering Jesse around. Like I got an operation happening. Like I don't want to go back to washing cars and students laughing at me, taking pictures on their flip phone. I don't want to go back to grading papers full time and this. I don't want to go back to how things were. My wife pretty much running me, and I'm just a poo putt. Like I think that reality set is like this, that actually was working in his favor in the sense it gave him the room he always wanted in his marriage with the people he deals with. It just gave him a lot of room that I think he looked at like, I'm not going to have that anymore. And I think y'all reasons tie into it too. So it's a flurry of reasons. This is Walt's I get it moment,
I get it.
Yeah, fair. Spike, did you have other thoughts on it?
Mm, I understand what you're saying, Mo. I still think that the character's journey should have provided him with a different route after he's gone through this. Like you said, like now I know I'm cool enough to smoke cigars with Hank. Now I know that I don't have to get treated like that at the car wash. Now I know, like, I turn away the gray matter people. I know that I'm a genius and I'm valued. I wasn't living like that before. I don't gotta sell meth to do that. I just cook 20 pounds of meth. I'm finna make $500,000 from this shit. Like, it's over with. I won. I hit the fucking lottery. Actually, I'm finna do this. We finna sell this meth. I got this extra money. Cancer's about to be free. Like, there should be rejoicing in this versus, oh, now I gotta go back to this life that I was living. Cause like, no, bro, you just did all of this. You should have more self-assurance in yourself. But it's strictly about the cook, about the meth. He don't want to be that person, I think, that you're talking about, Mo. He still don't have the gumption yet to be that person without meth being in the picture, without selling meth being in the picture, without bossing Jesse around, like you said. And that's the thing that frustrates me about the character. Like, a character like that we love and appreciate in any other show would be like, oh no, I got it. I understood the journey, which is probably when this would have ended after 2 seasons had he got it. So I understand why they didn't do it. But still, me as a viewer looking at it, I'm still like, oh, you weak. You the worst type of nigga. Like, you need the bullshit to be. You need the drama. Like Cardi's album, "Am I the Drama?" You need that to feel
to
fulfilled.
feel alive. Yeah.
Yeah, like you need that, and that's disgusting to somebody like me.
Fair enough. Mo, anything else to add?
Nah, great point.
All right, that's our episode. Season 2, episode 9. 4 days out. Before we get out of here, though, we got to talk about some categories. Most interesting plot between Jesse and Walt. I think this is probably Trips, right? It's got to be Walt, right?
Yes, definitely won't.
It's got to be. It's just a little more there.
Yeah, it's just
and it's a transition. It's you're actually getting better. Like, what are you about to do with that information? I think leaving that, especially your first time watching it, taking away what we know. The first time watching this,
Yeah,
100%,
for sure.
that's the plot line, because you want to know how you're going to respond to this. We see what you think about it by punching the paper towel disposer, but what's going to go from there? So Walt, I think, has the more interesting plot. Favorite conversation?
That's sick. Like, you got good news and reacted as bad news. I'm sorry.
That's
sick.
He's a nasty motherfucker.
I'm sorry. I ain't gonna prologue it. I just
Ray and Claude to quote Ray and
crazy.
Claude. Walt is a nasty motherfucker, man.
Boy, what was it you say, Rich?
No, I was gonna say favorite conversation.
Mine is the first one. Was one of the first scenes of the episode between Saul and Walt, when Saul is essentially like, "Hey, bro, like, you need to step it up. Like, if you need my services, 13,000 ain't gonna do it. Like, bro, like, you need to go out there and make some shit happen." I like that.
The fuck you got going on? How long you been doing this, nigga?
Been doing this for how long?
Yeah. For me, it's probably when Jesse drops him back off at the airport. That sentimental moment of like, man, look out for my family. Like, because he was thinking it was going to be a certain kind of way. So I really like that. I mean, we don't get a ton of those moments. And as we get further in the series, they get less genuine. But I still feel like this is at a point of a genuine place. So, yeah.
Yeah, if it was my first watch, I probably would have said Walt kind of absolving himself, talking to Jesse in that RV. All the things he did to his family, I would have probably believed it. But now, knowing what I know and knowing Walt's a fucking dirtbag, I'm gonna go with Skylar is in Walt's conversation in the bed. Outside of the fact that he thinks his wife's a fucking idiot and thinks he can just pull I'm going to my mom's house. I just love her trying to be there for Walt. Like, even through the bullshit, bro. Like, I'm positive about this. I need you to be positive. I'm carrying your daughter. I just said there's something. I said it at the beginning. I'm amazed at my views on Skylar in these 15 episodes.
Me too.
Facts.
I'm amazed.
I'm way more on her side.
Yeah,
Way more
bro.
on her
I
side
never
than
thought it. Like,
And I
Like
think things like
he
this
was
are a
literally
big
playing in her
difference.
face like the whole these 18 episodes. He's been playing in her face since day one.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to that. That's my favorite conversation
Oh,
of the
oh,
episode.
oh! I know what you thought you heard. You thought you heard my
That
alarm.
was that was the alarm. Like,
You
man,
thought you heard
bruh.
another phone. What it
I
is that
couldn't
you?
even I couldn't even imagine trying to get that off.
That was so funny, bro.
Any girl that I like any of the most of the stuff that Walt is getting off, I wouldn't even dare try this shit.
He slept
Nah.
on it, and that's what he came up with. That's what makes it
Yeah,
hilarious.
like that's
Listen,
nuts.
I've got a larger ego than most, and I wouldn't even try to think about this. Like, this is nuts. This is irrational confidence times 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. Best scene of the episode. I know what mine is. If you want me to go,
I'm gonna go with Jesse trying to get the RV started. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. The
Mm.
emotion, like just the stress, like all of it was seemed so real. Like you were picking up on like how frustrated. And if you've ever been, maybe not that in an extreme situation, but you've been in a situation where you like just don't like shit just not working, and your reaction to it is similar to what we
Yeah,
seen
you start running out of
in that
options.
scene. Yeah, you like, bro, what the fuck? That's when you start crashing out. Great scene in that one as
Hmm.
far as what Jesse doing.
Great pick.
great pick. Mine is the final scene. Walt getting the news that his tumor shrunk by 80%, him punching the paper towel dispenser. I just think it's very definitive on the character, what he's been trying to pull off, and him having to face his own reality of what's really going on. From an acting perspective, it's 1,000% the Jesse scene, but just the story and a cliffhanger to be like, oh shit, Walt's okay? Like, what's happening now? I think it's that scene.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I both picked great ones. I could have picked both of those, but I'm gonna go with the phone call to Stinky Pete. Because listen, now again, Jesse, these are his like these is day ones. But like in my mind, when I watched it, I took it as I couldn't get a hold of my reliable bunch. And now you like in a real desperate situation, your battery's low on your phone, you in a crunch, and you know it's damn near impossible situation, and like, calling like, hey bro, come here, and then just getting that, all right, man, I'm coming to get y'all. Like he's like, just that little bit of relief will get you through the night on
Mhm.
sleep. And then next day calling, it was like, oh, yeah, by the river. And then like just getting the real reaction from Walt. Wait, it's not the river. Hey, it's not the river. Like it was so realistic. Just you're in some territory or some places like way out, and like you really need somebody in the crunch. It felt very real. So I like that, and I said that's one of Breaking Bad superpowers is when they do these extended scenes of spending so much time in it. That's one of their superpowers that not a lot of shows could do.
I like that. I ain't mad at it. Who took the half measure this episode?
Skylar.
Interesting. What makes you say Skylar?
I'm going to my mom's house for 4 days. Don't call me. I ain't gonna call you either. I'll see you when I get back. All right, bro. All right. Okay.
All right, my
It
nigga.
sound like the
All
dude y'all was
right.
talking about.
All
Sound like the
right.
dude y'all was talking about on the podcast.
All right, bro.
Like, oh, he didn't go hunting. Where'd he go? Like, he's supposed to meet his friends. What
Oh
happened?
yeah, that yeah. Like, all
Yeah.
right, bro. Exactly. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Favorite
Let's get out of there.
conversation.
Wink, wink.
Not favorite conversation. What was that?
No, half measure. This is
Half
half
measure.
Oh, who
measure.
took the
Who
half
took
measure?
the
My bad.
half measure?
I mean, it's sorry. I'm gonna be very obvious here, but it's Jesse. Like Jesse putting the keys in the RV, throwing the water on the generator. Yeah, he took a lot of half measures this
Well,
episode.
you know what? I'm picking Jesse, but not for those reasons.
Okay.
Because I agree with Spike. Like, Spike, bro, you in this RV too. You gotta take some responsibility. And like I said, if I know I'm dealing with someone who ain't the brightest, I'm giving very clear direction, so you can't mess up. I'm giving it to Jesse because you don't know this yet, Jesse. But Walt's picking up on the fact that you got a girl, and he's gonna make sure your happiness doesn't stop anything that he needs to happen. Um, I'm giving him the half measure this particular episode just because, bro, I got a girlfriend, or what seems like a girlfriend. As I said earlier, I'm getting some consistent sex. I got a little money in my pocket. I'm about to go to Santa Fe for the Georgia O'Keeffe. Like I'm doing some shit that I never thought was possible. She's opening new doors in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to stop all of this because you on some bullshit and you lied to me about all this. I still could have done all this. I could have hit you with the bro. We can do this shit Monday. I know Walt wouldn't have went for it, but all of this, you're disrupting it on some bullshit. My life has to stop because you need some shit in true Walt fashion. So I'm giving this to Jesse because he's not even able to get his shit off.
And then he called Stinky Pete. Like, again, we talked about who's the best of the three. Like,
he's last.
Yes, I'm saying. Badger's last.
No, true. Yeah,
Badger's last. So what, I keep forgetting. What's the Mexican homie?
Combo.
Combo. Yeah, he should have called Combo.
Snack.
That's hilarious. He should have called Combo. Like Combo would have found him.
I don't know, man. I don't got faith in none of them niggas. Like I said, man, I don't know if any of that shit working. Who gets the MVP this episode?
It's got to be Walter. Like if Walter doesn't figure out how to make a battery, they die. Okay. Yeah, there's just honestly, there's nothing stronger of an argument to me than that. Like he had two possibilities after Jesse's stupid mistake, and then eventually figured it out, and he stopped Jesse from dying. Like if you go walk out here, bro, you done, you cooked. Like as much as you want to give yourself courage because you ain't got nothing else you could do, you will not make it. And then obviously building the battery and getting it started. So I got to give it to him just because if he don't figure out that battery, they die in the RV. And then they find their bodies with the blue meth, put it together. He's Heisenberg, and that's his story. And that's the end of that.
Yeah, I agree. It's Walt. He had a lot at stake this episode, getting a lie off to Skylar, saving with the battery, like you said. Like he had to be damn near perfect to get any of this shit off, and I assumed that he did get it off until he didn't. But yeah, like it's Walt.
I'm gonna go with a wild card. I'm going with Skylar. For one, something Spike Lee pointed out earlier. I'm building the case. You're helping me out in that, so I can appreciate it. Everything that I manifest, everything that I speak into existence is happening. I'm staying positive about your diagnosis. I know that you bullshitted me and lying me. I'm not even on that right now. I got other things to worry about. I think the thing that did it for me was the end of this episode. Just her joy and her happiness of realizing, oh shit, this can actually work out in our favor. Things might be cool. Maybe I don't have to worry about it because part of her in my head is thinking that, ooh, if Walt's clear, maybe all the bullshit that he's been on will stop. She doesn't know that Walt's on some bullshit still or will continue to do so, but I'm sure she's thinking this hell is over. This part of my life is over. I can get back to my regular part of it. I just think it was, I don't know if I'd have given it to her if it wasn't for Spike's presentation on, oh yeah, case by brick, I'm building this shit against you, and I'm gonna put this shit together, and it's gonna be cool. I think she got everything that she needed, whether it was good news or bad news. There was nothing that she missed on, so I'm giving it to Skylar.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. And lastly, what are we ranking the episode? Is it a mid pack, 96.2, or Blue Magic?
96.2 for me.
Okay.
It's still we're still in that zone where, and I don't know, I have to go revisit what we talked about on Good Earners in the first couple of seasons, but it still ain't been that like flagship marquee episode to where like, oh shit, this one of them ones. And I ain't realized that until this rewatch. I didn't realize that it took so long to get to, oh no, Breaking Bad it's one of them shows. Like it didn't take that long for The Wire, it didn't take that long for The Sopranos, it didn't take that long for Game of Thrones. Well, it took 9 episodes for Game of Thrones, but I still don't think with TVs that are considered prestige television, this one has taken the longest to get to the prestigious point.
That's a fair point. Well, I Better Call Saul might even beat that by chance.
I think so. I think so.
That's interesting.
That is interesting
because they at least in this they've had prestigious moments though.
They've had good moments.
You know what I mean?
I'm talking about Like I think Mo for you, you said it was college for The Sopranos. If you
Yeah,
if I'm not
Season
mistaken,
one, where you start to where you got the full feel of like
you
if
know this is different. Yeah,
definitive.
this is different. I ain't got that yet from Breaking Bad. Like
Yeah, but
they haven't had a college episode moment. There have, well, excuse me, episode
yeah,
throughout. They've had moments. I agree with you there. They've had moments that have piqued my interest where it's like, okay, I remember why I like this that much or why I regard this and where I regard it, but it ain't been an episode yet, and we 18 episodes in, I think.
I would say I
It
still would
can't.
say
Well, no, we're
a bag.
15 in,
I say a
15 episodes in.
bag in the river. I still because I'm
but
telling
that's
you,
not a. That's an
It ain't
episode
for
that
me
tells
that it's
you.
not it.
Well, for me, in my opinion, Bag in the River is an episode to tell you like, oh, this is a really, really fucking good show. Like this is
okay,
enough to keep me into it. I think about those moments. Like I didn't, as I said to all of y'all annoyance, this is my first rewatch. I didn't
same.
remember Bag in the River. I kind of remembered that I was watching it. I remember how I felt after Half Measures
Mm.
Facts.
immediately. I watched that back to back. Well, actually, I went straight to Full Measures. Then I watched both of them again. Like I think Half Measures. I don't. The gap that I'm having right now is season three. I know is much better than anything that we've seen so far. At what point did I realize Half Measures is when I realized it's in my top five. But I think
Mm.
early episodes in season three is when I started realizing, like, okay, like I really fuck with this show. It's really picking up in the direction where I'm going. I think that's when season three is when I started. Oh, one episode's done. I'm watching the next one. I'm watching the next one. Next thing I know, it's 2 a.m. And I would then watch 4 or 5 episodes of Breaking Bad. I think that starts next season, but I could be wrong.
To your point, I know that moment is there somewhere. We just haven't reached it yet. And I'm surprised it's taking this long. I do remember in real time that moment when I'm like, oh shit, this is one of them ones. I remember that. I just don't know when it was, when it happened, and I know we ain't got there yet. And I'm surprised it's taken 15 episodes or however long we've been doing.
Yeah, because and I think part of it, and we're gonna get out of here, but I think part of it is those characters that we're gonna get, like the characters we're getting at the end of this season, and then fully immersing them in the world in season three. I think that's what helps because we ain't even met like the cousins. Like you think they
Mm.
twins? Like there's so many little small details and people they play a big role in season three and some shit that go down. So I think that's part of it. Once we start getting these characters, and we said this last week, I think that's when things take off. But I'm curious. I'm here for the ride. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see when that actually takes off. And I'm very curious to see if Half Measures is going to give me the same feeling I had when I first watched it.
yeah.
I remember the talk with Mike, and I remember the ending, but I don't remember really the rest of the episode.
Mhm. I think I know we're closing. I think they realized, like with season two being another possibility cancellation, I think they realized. I imagine somebody was like, "Hey, we need another Tuco character." The actors said, "Kill him off. He's stepping down. It's too much. You need that. You need more of that. You need more of a crazy eight. You need more of that." Like I think that they're leaning too much on Walt and Jesse and the mundane parts, and they're leaning on. And then a B plot is always the family and Hank stuff. So yeah, I think they knew, and
Because
this obviously we get introduced to characters like we're talking about. It's going to bring it all together.
yeah, and that's because they knew what Mike said. Like I said, in Better Call Saul, in their Breaking Bad episode, they knew what Mike saw. This guy's going to be in jail or dead. He's a fucking poo putt. He's nothing. Like, why are y'all interested? And I think the writers probably said the same too. These dudes aren't interested. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are we trying to build here? We need to get some other action in here in order to keep this show alive because these two ain't it. So I think that's part of it too. But with that being said, that is our episode. No more half measures. We will catch y'all next week for a new one. Please remember to write in. Let us know what you think. If you agree, if you disagree. Word to Spike if you agree with Mo, the whole nine. Don't forget Instagram, NMHM underscore Breaking Bad Pod. If you want to send a DM, leave a comment. And the email address is no more half measures pod at gmail.com. With that being said, we'll be back next week for episode 10. Y'all be cool. We out.
Peace.
keep cooking.